was not paying attention.
And
it was all in vain because he went out of the World Cup in the group stages anyway.
Oh, sorry, 1 second. For people watching on YouTube, give me 2 seconds. I believe the Facebook one is not working for whatever reason.
We need to get one of those we're having technical difficulties signs they have on TV shows.
We might have to, because for whatever reason, the Facebook one is not working.
We'll get one of those posts that says like "Hang in there, baby."
Give me a second. I'll see what the problem is.
Okay, and then in the meantime, if you're watching this on YouTube, we're happy to have you. We're going to be watching Canada versus Uruguay, an international friendly, some World Cup preparation for the boys. The game's going to be played on One Soccer. You can watch it on One Soccer's direct feed, or you can watch it on Fubo TV. Or if you want to, let's say, sail the high seas, you can go sail the high seas.
And YouTube did miss our opening spiel there. And what I said was, we'll go back into it. So Paul, we can talk about that. But Canada, in my opinion, probably our biggest match in a long time, our biggest team. Yes, Mexico could be big. Yes, America could be big. But I don't think they match the level of Uruguay when it comes to fans, when it comes to history and all that stuff. What's your take on Canada playing Uruguay? Is this our biggest match in a long time anyways?
I think so, yeah. I mean, even if Uruguay are an out of form team right now, there is a level of prestige that comes with that name. They've won the World Cup twice, first team to ever win the World Cup. They won the World Cup in 1950, in shocking circumstances. They've won the joint amount of Copa Americas of Argentina, or if it's not joint, they're either just got passed by Argentina in the last tournament, and they've won the Olympics before. So this is a country full of prestige when it comes to the sport, which is amazing.
Yeah,
because a population of 3 million. You have to live and breathe this sport to be able to achieve the things they've achieved with that population size, and they have. Particularly outside of looking at, I'm not Uruguayan or anything, but it just seems to me they're just always good at producing strikers, whether it's Diego Forlan, Luis Suarez, Edison Cavani, and that boy at Liverpool that now is at Darwin Núñez. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, they do have a exciting team. They're obviously every year, every World Cup, they're considered at least, I'd say, top 5, top 6 favorite to win the World Cup. But Canada's going into the first World Cup, and we have 2 changes to this lineup today. We have Scott Candy in for Steven Vittoria, and we have Richie Laryea in for Junior Hoylett. A little bit of a surprise for me with Scott Candy. What do you think?
I got some breaking news for you, Michael. Are you sitting down? I can see you're sitting down, but tell me, are you sitting down?
I'm sitting down, baby.
They effed up the team sheet. Vittoria is indeed starting. I seen it on Twitter.
He is or isn't?
He is. That was confirmed by the CSA's Twitter account.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Scott Candy is in for...
No, Vittoria is starting.
Oh, Vittoria. Oh, so it's not Candy. Sorry. Okay.
Vittoria for Kennedy.
So Vittoria is not... Vittoria isn't. Okay, so they screwed up. It is not Scott Candy. But Richie Laryea is still in for Junior Hoylett.
Yeah, that's still the case. So it looks like
that one makes sense to me. Because
we said in our back free.
Like we said in our Uruguay World Cup review on YouTube, if you guys are watching, you guys could check it out there. With Canada to succeed in this game, we're going to have to work the rings. We've already talked about that. We already know that. So Scott Candy will have been a surprise, but Richie Laryea for Junior Hoylett does make a lot of sense for me.
Yeah, it does too. And like I said, this is going to be more difficult opposition, so you're going to want to have to shore up your defensive line. So you kind of look at it as you got Davies and Adekubi, right? You've effectively got 2 left backs, and with Johnson and Laryea, you've effectively got 2 right backs. So the flanks should be pretty secure for Canada. And I don't know, maybe that's the blueprint they want to go to for those games against the likes of Belgium and Croatia. And it seems telling to me that this is the formation against the stronger of the 2 teams, as opposed to when they played Qatar. This is the game that's going to be much more closer in skill level to those other 2 games. Maybe Morocco as well. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But I am not too surprised by this. Hoylett he's a good player for Canada, but I think he's at his best coming off the bench in this current side. Right. There's no one to really start. I'd start him ahead of at the moment. as much as it pains me to say that because I think he is very serviceable for Canada. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a substitute in football.
No, not at all. Especially on the international stage, it is always an
Exactly.
honor. It is always an honor to represent your country, represent your badge.
I wasn't
And
even a ball boy. I didn't even get to be a ball boy for
really,
Scotland. Nah.
were you ever a ball boy for Celtic? As
No,
well as
you had to be
Rangers?
in the youth academy.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you, I
My
don't know how many
cousins,
Scotland.
my cousins at Sunderland, they've been ball boys. So I guess.
I don't know how many Scotland games you ever watched, but they've got like they've got the big running track around it. So the
Mhm,
ball boys are actually. It looks as if they're about like 2 miles away from the pitch.
love it. So yeah, apologies to anyone who's trying to watch on Facebook. I can't get it going. I'm not entirely sure why. I apologize. I'm still trying to figure it out. Paul, if do you know anything that might get it working for our Facebook viewers?
No, I'll go and ask Mark for you if you want. He might be busy, but I'll go and ask him for you.
Yeah, give him a shot.
Maybe too busy hanging out in the metaverse with his reptile friends.
Maybe. I'm gonna try one more thing, and if it works, we'll try give it a go. And I'll let you know where you guys can catch it on Facebook.
You guys can always watch us on YouTube as well if you want.
Yes,
Well, I mean, if you are watching this, it is
if you are
YouTube.
watching, it is on YouTube. Okay, so I have it on Facebook. If anyone wants to watch on Facebook, it will be on my personal channel. You can search it though through uh, me. Use Michael McCall. You'll find it there. You might be able to find it in a regular search. I'm not sure why our 13-month sports count is not working. Um,
Yeah, we'll work it out. We'll get the mastermind. We'll try and get the mastermind Frankie to fix it.
we're getting it going. We've reached out to Frankie. So Frankie was watching the last week. So hopefully if he sees us, he'll let us know and help us out. But other than that, we are in YouTube right now, as you see.
Yeah, this
And
is great, isn't it? Even though it's just you and me talking about technical problems, this is great content, isn't it?
oh, it is. It is.
Some
Hey, people,
Uruguay fans there. Looks like
you
this
just
game's
be
getting played
you.
this game's getting played in Slovenia, I believe, or yes, yeah, Slovenia. I was under the
Is it not?
impression of
I thought
both.
they were both in Australia.
I was gonna say I was under the impression of both going to be in Austria, but
That's
like
what I thought. Yeah.
I heard at the last I heard relatively not that long ago that it's going to get played in Slovenia. Just
All
like
right.
that's such a Canada soccer thing to do, isn't it?
Oh yeah. It's like, oh, you mean you booked this stadium already? Oops.
Just some last minute moving of the goalposts.
Yeah. So
Very on brand.
this game is in Slovakia. It's in Takin Bowl.
The
Bowl.
other slow something.
It's in Slovakia. This match is being played in. So that's exciting in its own right. Um, I can't say the last time Canada played there.
I don't think they ever have. I don't, like, why would they have?
But I don't
I
know.
mean, other to play Slovenia, which I don't think's ever happened.
All right. I will try to get Facebook still working here. I hope you all are going to watch through the game. It was fun. It was a lot of fun on the weekend. The user cannot create a live video.
What made it fun as well is Canada won. It's always nice to see Canada win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a great game for Qatar. Talk about that one. Like, was that a good performance of Canada? Was that something we maybe disappointed from only scoring two? What do you think?
I would like to say it's a good performance, but like I think it's relative to the opposition, and we don't know. We know stuff about Qatar, but like we kind of want to know a bit more. So like maybe if Qatar have a good World Cup, we'll be able to look more at that result in hindsight and say that was good. Or if
Mhm.
Qatar end up getting trounced in every game, which some people think could happen, like that also means that the result wasn't all that much. So like we'll wait and see. I just think Qatar too much of an unknown quantity at the moment.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said in the last stream, Qatar's gonna be a fun team in the World Cup. I think they'll pull off maybe not getting out of group, but maybe a third place, a third place finish. But Canada played very well. They controlled the game. They really played the ball in the back end. All of our players chipped in areas that you want to see them chip in. Like you look at Samuel Payet, the amount of times he dropped back. You had Kamal Miller pushing up a lot of the time. It was an overall great performance.
Alfonso Davies, give him his
Lads.
full name.
Yes, sorry, Kamal Miller, aka Alfonso Davies, center back.
I'm gonna keep going with that until we get it made on a T-shirt. Oh, is your one soccer feed acting wonky? Mine's
Nope.
gone all green.
Oh, that's your end, brother. Because mine is well, they stand for the national anthems.
I'm having them stand for the national anthem still, but it's like flicking. It's like I'm watching. It's like I'm watching this game on like the first ever televised broadcast.
That's funny. I mean, it is Qatar, Uruguay, and they were at the first ever World Cup. So Uruguay is probably one of the first teams to ever see TV.
Oh yeah, Michael. I just got. It came up on my feed saying One Soccer. We are experiencing technical difficulties.
Oh, I'm getting it now. So I guess you're 20 seconds ahead of me again.
Hey, as is tradition.
Yep. Good old One Soccer.
So we can't afford the technical difficulties thing, ladies and gentlemen, but One Soccer can. So if you're paying for this, like me and Michael are, don't worry, your money's going to a good place. Your money's going to like a good technical difficulties graphic. This is something. I knew I should have just booked tickets. I knew that you and I should have just done a live stream in the stadium and be the most obnoxious people on the planet.
That would be amazing.
It could be like one of the we can like do that thing that like football vloggers do, but like even worse.
Yeah, but you have to be careful with some stadiums during. They really do not like cameras.
I can't imagine any really would, but I've never been at a game and seen that. Like it's a relatively new thing.
Mhm.
Like because of COVID and all that, and like where I live in relation to any teams, like I've not been to like a football game in like a long time. So I've not seen like anyone like vlogging a game.
No, I mean I haven't seen it in person. I've never seen it, but I watch a couple YouTubers who do it, and sometimes they get some interesting stuff.
I like stuff before and after the game. I feel like during the game, like you're kind of, I'm not too sure. I'm not too keen on that. Well, like I don't mind people just like getting like a little video of a goal celebration or all that, or if it's a penalty. But like
Mhm.
the ones who are like they do it they're doing it the whole time basically.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
ones that's the ones I'm not too sure of. So like if any fellow YouTubers are watching this and that's your thing, just know this doesn't apply to you. Oh no, it's all the other ones. It doesn't apply to you.
So
I've
yeah,
still
just
got technical difficulties.
we're figuring out all of our end right now. Currently, Facebook's not working for us. One Soccer's not working, so it's like we're in the same boat. So that's okay. So at this moment, it's not like we can watch the game.
Yeah, we're not missing anything anyway. Even if we wanted to, we were not missing anything.
Exactly.
this is kind of awkward, this isn't it?
A little bit. Like I mean, we can dive more into um. What's Uruguay's kits like? Do we like Uruguay's kits?
I always like Uruguay's kits. I mean, they've got. I know they've got one of those cursed Puma kits, the away kit, but like they've got one of those home kits that like you simply can't go wrong with, like that powder blue with the black shorts. And it's iconic, isn't it? Like because obviously the World Cup's help as well with them being a successful team. Like it's just such a great color combination. Like I love it. Like I think like most people when I see that kit, the first thing that comes to my mind is like Luis Suarez with like the biggest shithouse moment of all time in the 2010 World Cup. Like that's what I think of when I think of Uruguay kits and specifically that blue one.
Yeah, no, I think they're almost iconic to that like light baby blue, which I kind of like. I mean, you see that color, you know it's them. But I guess Argentina have a little bit of a battle. But I think is Argentina a little bit darker, or it's pretty similar.
Theirs can vary, especially because they've got the white stripes going through it as well. Like sometimes it's a bit darker, sometimes it's a bit white, sometimes there's a bit of black incorporated into the shirt as well, like for the sleeves or something like that. But yeah, like they're all pretty consistent. That's what I like about international football. Like you know what you're gonna get a lot of time with the kits, and like it's not much you can do. There's not much you can do about it. I mean, like some
Well,
of
yeah,
them are kind of funny. You look at Italy, I'm like, where the fuck is the blue in your flag? It works. It kind of works.
they're just so known for it now.
Exactly.
Can't I also like the England white. Like it's just a plain white jersey. What are you honestly supposed to do with that? There's not a lot. Um,
Plain white jerseys can work if they're done right. Like
mhm.
like not all the way, and you're looking like you're like a footballer from the 1870s, but like you put some color into like the shorts or the socks as well, maybe a bit of trim on them. I don't mind white tops if they're done right. in like Real Madrid, there's Real Madrid tops I like, and there's Real Madrid tops I don't like, and that's their thing. They always play in white.
Yeah, and I think someone like Leeds. Leeds has a nice white kit. You look at Valor in the CPL. I love their white kit this year. It's just so fucking clean. It's so slick.
Is that the one where it's like half white and half white and half maroon?
No, it's white and then it has like maybe gold trimmings. Like it looks pretty sweet.
Oh, right.
Hmm.
White is a bold top though, right? Like you got to be a good team to have a white kit, especially an all white kit.
Yeah.
That's a bold move, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I guess so. But
And like not everyone can be Real Madrid.
no, but again, I think if you pull it off, it looks pretty sweet. Everyone who's watching, thank you so much for joining in. We're still waiting for the game to be fixed on One Soccer's channel before we could start, doing the review. I think kickoff probably has happened already as well. I have to imagine.
I have 1 minute past one, so yeah, there's every chance. So Michael, you say you're live streaming on your Facebook?
My live stream is on my Facebook. Share it out to other Facebook pages if you like. Just simply because our FC13 one is not working at the moment for whatever reason. I'm just constantly trying, not working. I believe we have Frankie on the other end trying to fix it.
It's kind of meta this. I'm like having to watch both. I'm watching like our Facebook stream trying to share this stuff.
But yeah, no, awesome. If you guys are watching along with us, drop some comments, ask us questions. Make sure to like and subscribe. We'll be here for the whole Canada versus Uruguay game. And thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, I was just gonna keep saying YouTube words like that. We're getting pretty good at it, I think.
We are. It kind of comes with you. I also screwed up on the title. It is Canada versus Uruguay, but it is a watch along. So I'm trying to fix that as well. This was a very rushed morning. I apologize. I woke up thinking the game was at 1. I didn't. It was not. I will do better next time, I promise. But if you joined us for the Qatar game, it was a good time, a fun time, and
Michael doing like an apology statement there.
sort of. I'm not crying yet though. Want me to cry? Because that's a proper YouTube apology.
Okay, I'm not going to tell you how I've got the game, at least publicly, but I've got the game.
So you give us updates while One Soccer fixes their shit.
Yeah, so the game started. Canada are playing in their sexy black kit.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I love the black kit. Always do well in the black kit. I feel like they like playing in the black kit.
I would like us to wear the red. Just, you're playing a team that doesn't conflict with each other, so just wear the red.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I still like they tend to play it in the big occasion games. Like they played it at home to the US and Mexico, and I think they like playing in it. Did they play in it against Jamaica when they qualified for the World Cup?
I believe, yeah. I want to say
yeah. Yeah, there you go. Like I don't know. I think the players just like maybe like playing it or something, or like Canada Soccer want to make this an iconic kit. Like we don't really have. I don't think Canada's got many black kits, do they?
No. Canada Hockey had a black kit for a while. Well, kits, whatever you want to call Canada's hockey jerseys. Yeah, hockey jerseys. I guess is the way to properly say it.
I get that. That'll do for me. Like I keep saying I keep talking to people saying like Canada are trying really hard to make the color black a Canadian color.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but hey, like you said, Italy has nothing to do with blue, and yet here we are.
Here we are. I'm sure there's a historical reason why the kits are blue. It's just like outside looking in when you see the flag. Like I know like there's historical reasons why Germany play in white, for example. Like I know that one, and the Netherlands with orange. Italy with blue. Still to work that one out. I don't know. Maybe it was a king's favorite color or something back in the day. That seems like something European countries would have done.
I got this. Why does Italy wear blue? We're going to Google this. Why does Italy wear blue?
In the meantime, Uruguay have got the ball in the back. Canada, they are staying close to them. Oh, good interception there from Kamal Miller.
So Italy wear blue because it was the official color of the Royal House of Savory.
I wasn't too far off then.
Tribute to the Italian monarchy survives.
Oh, did he win the ball there? I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. I can't see it. One Soccer. You want to know what people are bitching about? You One Soccer because of crap like this.
Kamal Miller makes a foul on the edge of the box. He seems disappointed in himself. He seems disappointed. He thought he won the ball. It's like one of these ones where like maybe, but like the way he wins the ball, he basically like scissors the guy. Not in
Right.
not that way, the other way.
Jeez.
Luis,
Jeez.
he's getting into it with Luis Suarez there. Remember when Luis Suarez was known as the bike guy?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think we should bring. That just seems so long ago, right? Like it wasn't just the one. It was like two. I was like, there was once at Ajax, once with Liverpool, and once when he played for Uruguay at the World Cup.
Sorry, I'm trying to get one soccer back on. Hopefully, it's working for me.
He was just one of
Um,
the. He was just one of the. He's one of these guys. He was just one of these guys that just like that was his thing. I don't know. I'm saying one of these guys is a biting people's a regular thing. Like just him and Mike Tyson in a club together.
and I accidentally just turned off my
Or
Xbox. I am
maybe,
having a rough day today, aren't
or
I?
Arnie Hammer as well. I guess like he might be into biting.
Maybe. So one soccer
Oh, that's in.
Uruguay scored.
Yeah, great free kick there. Missed who was, kind of missed who was taking that there. The camera's a bit high up. It's not really low down.
Hmm.
Looks like I'll try and get the goal scorer in a second.
Yeah,
That was quick fire goal. Bit disappointing there. It was Nicolas de la Cruz who scored at Uruguay's number 7. Free
it was a
kick
nice
was
goal.
free kick was in a dangerous spot. There was always a chance of that happening.
Yeah, it was a nice goal.
You can maybe say Bojan maybe could have got to his side a bit quicker, but
Yeah,
like the free kicks hit perfectly.
I
He
would have
gets
liked
over.
Boyan
He
to
gets
have
over
that.
as much. The free kick gets hit perfectly. He gets over to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, every goal should have, could have, would. I'm not too annoyed about that.
No, I would like that to go in. Sorry, be saved. I think Boyan. No, I don't want them. I think Boyan should have had that, but it was a nice goal. One soccer, you're really screwing us up here, man. We have still yet to see the goal on one soccer.
I think
Um,
there's a difference between a goal expecting a goalkeeper to do better and a goalkeeper making a mistake. I don't think the two are like always hand in hand.
uh, no, I mean, yes, you're right. Um,
Because you can say that about honestly every goal that goes in that like there's something a goalkeeper could have done to stop it.
no, I mean, there's some stuff you look at the defense, you look at defensive breakdowns, you look at poor covering, poor positioning. It's not like a lot of the time. I think in soccer, we're pretty generous to the goalies. I don't think you're gonna argue with a lot of goals they let in, but it's ones like where they make contact, you maybe question.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's kind of that adage in like
Hmm.
NFL or CFL where it's like if your receiver can touch the ball, he should be catching the ball, sort of thing. But I
That sort of
mean,
thing, yeah.
you got to also like keep in mind like the speed in which these balls are getting hit as well.
No, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Um,
do you remember the remember the 2010 World Cup with the Jabulani ball?
which one?
Remember the Jabulani ball? That was basically just like it was as if like the ball was just covered in butter the whole time.
That World Cup is known for so many good things and so many bad.
It was like one of those like super like super chaotic super chaotic balls. It was a weird World Cup. It just kept that's something we kept talking about the whole time. Not a World Cup like that since. I think we just
Mhm.
realised that yeah, we don't have to make we just make them normal. Don't they had
Sorry, sorry, we're out of comments here. Sorry, we do not have a link for the game. Our service isn't even working at the moment. We know Uruguay's up 1-0, and that's about it. Apologies for that. We will not be giving out a link for the match though. But thank you for tuning in.
yeah,
Um,
like I said, to be transparent, I am watching it in a way that I am not allowed to tell you how I'm watching it. If you know what I mean, I would get the stream taken down if I shared too much information.
pretty much. But it
If you want
is
to reach out to us privately, maybe we can help you, but like we can't tell you publicly how we're watching it.
that is true. Yeah, and tell you what, you reach out to us privately, we'll send you a link, and you stick around and watch us. Make sure to hit us.
In the meantime, we'll help us what we can. So Canada get the ball upfield. Davies is on the ball. It is difficult to kind of work out who's who because the camera is really high up.
Yeah.
Like I can't really see the
Um,
numbers all too well. I don't think
Can
Canada will be too disheartened with that goal because they've been like fairly even play so far. Free
yeah,
kick, it
they've done
happens.
well. They're doing well right now. Like they just had high pressure on Uruguay's box. Like the fact that we're going up against a team like Uruguay and playing this type of pressure, it's very impressive and it's very gives you confidence leading into the World Cup, right? So it makes you feel
Davies
better.
certainly looks up for it there. He's holding onto the ball pretty well up in those advanced spots.
Hmm.
Um,
I mean, Uruguay,
Uruguay at the ball
yeah, they have the
now.
ball again, but I mean, it's gonna be if kind of keep up this pressure and keep up this pace. It's going to be a back and forth game, which is what we want to see. I don't think many Canadians expect to win this game, but we expect to see us try and expect to see us be competitive. And as long as we're competitive, I'm 100% okay because I believe Uruguay is one of the better teams in the world. Um, I know we have to play Belgium, who were probably considered better than Uruguay, but I think honestly that matchup is a coin toss. I think either one could pull away and say if Uruguay was to play Belgium. So this is a
I
really
would,
good test for us.
yeah, I would. I'm the same. I'd maybe give a slight edge to Uruguay, but like, you really be surprised by either. It's same with
Mhm.
Croatia. Oh, Luis Suarez getting in it again. I'm glad to see you can still find him. He's 35 years old now. I think he's playing his football in Uruguay.
Yeah.
Good. It's good to see guys like him. Like, I don't know about you, but like I was kind of like first exposed to Luis Suarez at that 2010 World Cup. This is just a 2010 World Cup live stream now, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Uruguay win the ball up on Canada. Get lucky there with the way the
That's
ball
all right.
bounced.
That's how defense works, baby. That's how Canada's defense works, baby. We're brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind.
Go
I
on.
don't mind teams like playing the ball out from the back as well. As far as I'm concerned, like,
In the box, we look good. Oh, shot over the bar. That was a good chance.
oh, I think you're slightly ahead of me, but you know
Good.
what? It's fine.
Good.
But yeah, you're right. Like Davies, good run into the box there, goes slightly over.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's up for this today.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Like this is the big one. Davies wants to prove himself, right? He plays in a big club in Europe. So when he goes to play for Canada, people kind of go, "You play for Canada, whatever. You're going to Mickey Mouse Playhouse, man."
I
But
think the
taking on
Uruguay,
Uruguay,
I
yeah.
think the Uruguay head coach is literally half the age of the last Uruguayan head coach.
um,
It's, they got no more Oscar Tavares. The walking stick man is gone. Oh, ball goes right through ball goes right through everybody from the corner. Looks like a couple of Canadian heads were close to it, but no one can make contact. It goes out for a goal kick.
good work. Good work. Love to see it. Love to see it.
Hmm.
Um,
I want to see them to be competitive in this first half.
yeah.
Second half, I mean, it depends on how the game's going. Like, if they make a number of changes or not. We know that can happen fairly regularly when it comes to international football.
Oh yeah, for sure, right? And that's the big thing, right? So we want to be competitive.
Like, I'd imagine we'll see Tejo and Buchanan, I guess, in the second half at some point.
Yeah, again, he's at the squad. I want to see him in the lineup even for a
Yeah,
little bit. He
I think
needs to be
Herdman
there.
did say like he's looking to get him minutes in this game.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So I mean,
maybe
if
he'll
that's
take
the case,
Yeah, maybe he'll take Davies off. I know Davies took a knock against Qatar, but I mean, it's not slowing him down right now, is it?
no, not at all.
Adakubi doing well. Oh, Canada got the ball again. Play it left. Okay, Davies is running on. Where's his help? Gets the ball on. He's offside.
Yep, that's the. So actually, I don't know this answer. Is VAR at a friendly? Probably not, right?
It'll depend on if it's employed in the stadium or not.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's employed in the stadium, therefore you have to hire the employees to work it. But therefore, you might not do that for a specific match. Am I wrong?
FIFA have the money.
Yeah, because they use it right. Don't kid yourself.
Oh no, they totally do. Like, how can you possibly run such a big organization without giving everybody on top a 17-foot yacht?
Oh,
Well, I guess we'll get our answer with VR eventually. Yo, let's hope
eventually.
Canada get a dodgy penalty or something.
Hey, it's early on. We're looking decent. Look, we're back on the ball. We're putting pressure on them again. Uruguay have a lot of their men back at the moment.
Like I said, yeah, it's an unfortunate way they conceded a goal, but like
Yeah.
if they're gonna
There's
have
a
to go
rule of
1-0
sounds.
down, I'd rather that than like
Mm.
like Uruguay's all over them. I guess.
But honestly, if we lose 1-0, even if we lose 2-0, and we keep playing like this, I'm overall happy. Because in my opinion, we shouldn't be playing this good against a team like Uruguay. I mean, that's thinking of a team growing up watching them the last 5, 6 years, right? It's
Good ball.
totally
Oh, just too much. I think I was talking to you about this. We were talking about like how CPL teams come up against MLS, where like a better indicative of the gap is the performance of CPL teams against MLS teams rather than result.
yeah.
Because like a team like with like barely any possession, like one shot on target, get a fluky goal. That's not really, and they win that. But it's not really indicative of the gap between the two leagues. as opposed to like a much closer game head to head. Like that will be better in the long term to
No,
like
for sure,
gauge how
yeah.
close the leagues are. Same sort of
Yeah.
thing here. Like I want Canada to play well. Like it's a friendly. The result doesn't really matter. I just want them to play well and have a confidence against this side. Because if they're confident against Uruguay, why the hell not be confident against Belgium and Croatia?
No, for sure. Like this is what this game is. It shows us competitiveness. We have some confidence in the team, and that's what we want to see, right? Because sure, we had a great World Cup qualifiers. So let's see what else this brings for us.
Okay, get the ball out right. Okay, is that Johnson running up? Okay,
We got some comments on the end as well. What do we have here from El Gringo?
gets the ball out right.
This is the first time in a while we've seen Canada have adversity. It will be interesting to see how they will react. 100%. You're
Mhm.
100% on the trigger there. Canada's looking good right now. I'm very impressed. Like it's almost at the point I shouldn't be impressed anymore. But every time we hit the field, I'm getting more and more impressed. It's great to see. Give me live link, not with a comment like that, buddy. You gotta be polite. You gotta be. I'm not
Like I,
throwing it anywhere.
well, like I said, the way we're watching it,
It's one.
I'm not gonna keep repeating this, but like we're unable to share it right now because it'll take the stream down. Whether we're not watching it on One Soccer. But if you do want to know how we're watching it,
Nobody is watching on One Soccer.
please, but yeah, please send us a private message and we'll tell you that way.
And also, if you're interested in our One Soccer controversy, we have a video about it a little bit. And this just builds to it because One Soccer, though they are broadcasting this game, has missed the first 16 minutes. So that's a little upsetting to miss the goal. Thank you for joining us, Juan. Juan, would you want to jump in on halftime? Let me know. And One Soccer has the game back
Oh, they're
on.
back. So, I was
Anyone
just
who's watching on One Soccer, it's back.
I'm just about to ask you there. It's funny because the way I'm watching it, like I'm never really gonna know when it's back on One Soccer because I'm not watching it on One Soccer.
One Soccer is a little bit behind. I'm up on One Soccer. I'm about 30 seconds behind what the other stream I'm on. So, um, anyone who's going to stick around and watch with us, even though it's back on One Soccer, please, not please, but thank you. Enjoy yourself. Drop some comments in there, and we'll get to them, and we'll have fun with you.
That was good pressing from Stefan Eustachio to win the ball up for Canada.
was.
Now they're just playing the ball about, looking comfortable in possession. I think like if there's one thing we can take away from the John Herdman era, it's the belief that he's given this side.
Yeah. 100%.
Like I think his biggest legacy will be like the confidence he's instilled in Canada to be able to like see themselves as a footballing nation on a global scale.
100%. We have the best coaching in CONCACAF, 100%. And I said that on the last stream as well. I said that on our last podcast. America, they're better individual. They're better individually, but they're not better when it comes to coaching and putting a team together. Canada does it perfect.
I would say Canada's got the best player in CONCACAF though.
Yeah, 100%. I would agree with that.
I'm not, like people. I know people are high on Pulisic and like Weston McKennie, but like I'll still take Davis.
I think I'm not even going to say my comments on Pulisic right now, but maybe a little
like
bit overrated.
True Canadian.
Juan, you're Uruguayan as well. We know that from you being on our YouTube and podcast. Juan, who do you actually want to win this match, or would you like to see a 1-1 draw?
I want to see. Do you want to see the sports win? Do you want to see football win?
Yeah, do you want to see the footballers?
Oh, Boyan gets the ball there. It looked as if like it was a pretty good through ball. Would have got past Alistair Johnson towards Nunez, but Boyan's there to pick it up. Boyan without the tracksuit pants on.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine he'd be wearing those in Qatar. It's just not. I don't want. We see his fucking ass sweats all game, man.
was it Andre who was like, you think he'll wear them in Qatar, like one of the hottest countries on the planet?
I think everyone was saying that at that point.
Remember we said in the podcast, like, no,
he's like,
his knees will melt.
I'll be straight up concerned if he wore that damn shit, man.
That's too much commitment to the bit.
Imagine just all that sweat's building up in those sweatpants, and you just get heavier. You see him like make a jump, and he's just like right back fucking down. Like, gravity's not on his side.
I feel like our family-friendly rating on the show has just disappeared with that now.
No, we got another comment here from Luge, and you're 100% Luke. Sorry, not Luge. Herdman gave so much confidence to his players that it spilled over to the whole CF Montreal crew. 100%. Now, the thing I like about Montreal is we have a lot of players who play that, and I think success of the World Cup comes from playing together and playing together. Like we always like talk
Oh,
about
poor ball from
Spain.
his poor ball there. Oh, fantastic from Bojan there.
Good job. We always talk about when Spain won the World Cup. Like, where did their players play? They played in Barcelona. They played in Madrid. So I'm not saying we're going to win the World Cup because of all players playing in Montreal. But
Even the
it
France
makes us
squad
look
as
better.
well. They were all like much more split up, but like, oh, oh boy, Bojan's down.
Oh fuck, that's not good.
Oh boy, that's what happens when you're 35 years old and you have to sprint. This doesn't look good. Goalkeepers don't go down for no reason.
No, unless they're trying to kill some time, and we are not trying to kill some time at the moment. And
And especially when you're 1-0 down.
And Borjan is a hard head. But go back to the Montreal comment though. I really love when Alistair Johnson signed there. I absolutely loved it because I knew he was playing with Kamal Miller on a regular basis, and that excited me alone. By the way, um, so yeah, I've noticed we got some new subscribers while the stream's been going. Thank you so much for subscribing. Keep it coming. We're doing a great job. We're having a lot of fun in here, so thank you so much.
I think it's his right ankle that's injured.
Yeah, looks like it. Also with CF Montreal, a lot of people were debating who were better at the end of the start of the season. Was it Montreal? Was it Vancouver? And I was on Montreal. Paul can vouch for that. I was all Montreal all day, every day. And I don't like Montreal, but I know how good they are.
Before the start of the season, I would have said the Whitecaps. So yeah, I'm humble enough to admit that. It's not totally not because of Ryan Gold.
Sorry, YouTube Nova's not sure. Hot Pants Private Match. If you could DM me the link. 1 second. I'll see if I see it there.
You say it's back on One Soccer. I might put the One Soccer feed back on where Borjan's getting himself fixed up. It looks like he's okay. Like at this point with a friendly with nothing to lose, I wouldn't mind putting Sinclair in.
Yeah. I'm not seeing any messages. I don't even know where my messages are on here. Sorry, I'm still a noob.
A noob? Do the kids still say that?
I don't know. I do, but I'm not a kid anymore.
Nah, like you and I, we are still in our 20s, but like we're not young anymore.
Juan is hoping for a 2-2 draw just for Canada to earn a tough point. Points matter.
Right, there we go. My stream's back. To be fair to One Soccer, the stream is much better. Like Andre has coined the term watching football through a microwave, and the stream I was watching beforehand was literally like watching football through a microwave.
Oh yeah, for sure.
One Soccer, I'm watching it through like a brand new conventional oven. Get the ball away there, Bojan.
Yeah, we're back. I'm back on One Soccer as well. I will send that link though if I see your message. Where
That's a shame that everyone had to go 20 minutes without listening to Gareth Wheeler.
Oh no. You poor souls.
When I was watching the Qatar game just back the other day, and his old Canada old baby, it just sounds so forced now.
I don't give a shit. As much as you hate Wheeler.
Hit it. Oh.
We may lose them. We may lose some subscribers here, but as much as we all hate Wheeler, I do like the old Canada old baby, and I will stand by that.
The possession stats just came up there. It was 49-51%, so basically the same. Looks like Jonathan David managed to work himself some space there to get a shot off.
Yeah,
Malbella does well to get the ball to him.
Paul, Paul, do you mind bringing your stream back like 20 seconds?
Okay, I'm at 12:35, 23:25.
All right, I'll let you know when I'm at 35.
Okay. The things I have to do for this man, ladies and gentlemen.
I know.
He's lucky I likes him.
I don't want to be spoiled. I'm 35 now.
There we go.
All right, now we're synced up.
Canada have the ball at the back. Johnson plays it back to Borjan.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I can't see your private message there, so I'm going to not send that link there.
They've given Borjan the ball a good few times now since he went down. I think they're just like testing him out to see if he's okay, and he's like handling it okay. Not that long ago, like he was kind of rushed in possession as well off of Uruguay, so he seems fine. He's a trooper. He's from Croatia, right? He's from Croatia initially. That's like that's a tough part of the world. Like that's a tough part of the world to grow up for him in the early 90s. before
Yeah,
he
yeah.
came to Canada.
Yeah,
Um,
he was one. He was someone who fled the country and found home in Canada, and he's been supporting, but he's been representing Canada ever since, really. And it's
Oh,
been
it was actually kind of beautiful to see him like play so well when the Canada played the US in Hamilton because that's where he grew up. Like he had that save in the first half, which is like what I was alluding to last week. But I love goalkeepers who like celebrate saves like a goal, and
yeah.
Bojan like straight up was acting as if he just won the game for Canada with that save, which I'm a big fan of.
Oh, I know, it's absolutely great.
Yeah, he's a good
Absolutely
cat.
love
I'm
it.
not really a big fan of having a goalkeeper be a captain, but like I do like Bojan as a leader. Like we've seen it before. He's not just got the armband on by committee. He is a leader on that team. Like you see with
100%.
how vocal he is. I remember the game against Honduras. He was always right in the thick of it, like backing his teammates up with that referee.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
Uruguay just playing the ball around in the back. The shots and according to the stats I've just seen are 3 shots to Canada, 1 shot to Uruguay. Uruguay, just like as you can imagine, that shot led to a goal from the free kick. But other than that, it's been pretty self-contained so far.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
Uruguay almost got Bojan off his line.
oh
That was
man, I was getting
oh,
PTSD there from the Euros with the Czech
oh.
Republic versus Scotland. There,
Yeah, yeah. That was a little scary.
did you ever watch that goal?
Yeah, I think I did see
I
it.
think it was Patrick Schick's.
Yeah,
Scores
yeah.
from about 65
Oh,
yards
you know
out.
what? Stupid me. I actually watched that game live. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it with all my family. You know, first time Scotland had been in a tournament. It's like basically my lifetime. Like at my granddad's house, everyone's there, all just stunned.
Well, there's not much you can fucking say to that. Like that was
I was annoyed with how
beautiful.
far David Marshall was out of his goal. Personally, I didn't think there was any need, but I mean, at the same, you got to give credit to Schick for that goal. Anyway, let's no more talk of Scotland losing. Canada on
Again,
the ball here, controlling the play. They're slowing the.
we've
They're
been
not afraid
well.
to
Yeah.
just. They're not afraid to just slow the game down.
Not at all. And they've been doing well keeping in the game. It's just overall.
They are they're dictating the pace of the game,
They
which
are
is like a good surprise to see. It's not something you'd expect, like in this, would you?
100%. And I was expecting us to be back on our back foot a lot more. And that's not the case right now. We're doing very well on keeping it, like, keeping possession and keeping it, the chances coming in as well. Getting the ball to the box, we're doing well at doing it.
Yeah, and like we went into this like wanting Canada to have that stiff test of maybe having to have that backs against the wall effort, that practice against those higher opposition Belgian and Croatian teams. But I mean, I tell you what, maybe they don't need to do that.
No, we might not. We might take it to Croatia. We may take it to Belgium a little bit more than what we thought. This is giving us a bigger insight of what we might look like against
Belgium doesn't scare me all too much outside of Kevin De Bruyne. Like, I'm not stupid. I know they have good players, but like De Bruyne is the real one I'm worried about. If they're able to like contain him, I think we should. Like, there's every chance. Uruguay get the ball upfield. Adakubi shepherds the defend the attacker. Keep him up.
There, yeah.
Okay. Oh, close space.
Uruguay almost scored again.
I think Johnson did just enough, I think, there to put Nunes off the shot. Yeah. He got himself into a good recovery position.
Yeah, that was a little risky, but again, Canada covered it well. The Uruguay came on the counter, and Canada just covered the corners, and well, not the corners, but like the box. And
yeah, I think if the shot was on target, that Johnson would have got his body in the way. He got himself in a good position for that.
Like Johnson pushed Nunes to go away from him, and it was too much. So good for them. And again, Canada's back up with the ball, and they're really holding Uruguay accountable. It's great.
It's hard to say if there's an unsung hero in this Canada side, but I think that you could make a case for Alice Johnson.
Oh yeah,
he doesn't really get the laudits that a lot of the other players do. Even Adakubi, like Adakubi's had a couple of like iconic moments, with the celebration and the goal against the US. Johnson doesn't really have that, but like he doesn't let Canada down.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, but like you were saying about Belgium, that's how I felt about Canada going into Croatia. Was I don't care for Croatia. I think they're older. I think our speed will run the play. I think we'll do overall a good job in that match.
I heard Croatia's got a good right back.
Don't care.
Remember the name Josip Juranovic?
Like that scene in Avengers, and he's like, "We have a military, or whatever." And he's like, "We got a Hulk. That's us." It's like, "Oh, we have a right back. Yeah, well, we have Herdman, who's going to bring everyone together. So,
I was going to say Davies.
No, but we do have Davies, but I'm thinking more of like
Ball over the top. Nunes does well to control it there, and
it's kind
Larea
of like
does well to take the ball off him into Borjan's feet.
I think when it comes to Croatia, it's going to be very similar to America in the sense individually they are better overall, but I think we're going to be a better team at the World
I
Cup.
don't really think there's much in Canada versus the US, to be honest. I think like the US players might just be bigger names.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, they're better individually, but we're a better team.
I don't really. I would need to look at the US team off by heart. Ball nearly got put through there.
They already got through.
Canada are like they're not scared to be adventurous here. I think they're confident in their defense, which plays a big part in that. Like there's a lot of recovery speed in their defense with Adekubi, Johnson, and we've seen how fast Borjan can be off his line as well there too. They're not afraid to commit men forwards.
For sure.
We cycle the playback. Miller plays it to Piet. Piet's had a quieter game so far in this game, but I think that's just
fine,
like it's within the realms of his game, like to not go noticed all that often.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine for Piet to take a step back.
I think Eustachio's been the more busier of the two. This may sound strange, but like I know that Davies and David might be the better players, but I think Eustachio is more irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Like you can't, like we can survive Davies being injured. We've seen it. David as well. You got Larin up there as well. Eustachio, there's no one there that can come in and do what he does.
And Nunes almost got a break there, but ball goes out.
Ball goes out. Overplayed it.
And I actually don't mind these Uruguay kits either. I mean, they look a little plain, but it almost has like a retro feel to them, and I like that.
That's what I mean. Well, I mean, I kind of a lot of international kits look like that because they don't have sponsors on them yet.
Yeah. How does
give it time? If you can get sponsors on NHL jerseys and NBA jerseys, it's only a matter of time.
I mean, NHL's not that much of a stretch if you look at European hockey. Like those things are filled of ads on the jerseys.
That's true, but like I mean, this time 3 years ago there was no ads, and then this time 2 years ago there was ads on the helmet, and this time now there's no ads on the helmet and the top of the jersey.
I'm perfectly okay with it. It's so small. It basically looks like a fucking Nike logo. Like it's nothing that's to cry over.
Yeah, I said the owners need that second yacht.
I don't know. It's not like that at all.
Well, it's not going to make going a hockey game any cheaper, is it?
No, but I mean, it's not gonna be the owners, like they did lose money during COVID, and this is kind of their answer to that, right?
Oh, I'm so sad for them.
And they're the millionaires that brings us the game. I don't give a shit. Like I say, anytime I go to a game, no matter what the game is, I buy a ticket, I'll buy a drink, and maybe some food, just to like support everyone involved there. You know, even if it's just a couple bucks here or there. Because they're allowing me to see whatever is there, so support what's there.
I won't tell you how I watch hockey then. Okay, and Uruguay are back on the ball, play it out right. Players in space, but it looks like Canada are allowing that. Miller should have that under control. Yeah, he's not afraid to slide still. That's how Canada gave the free kick away, but Kamal Miller, he's one of these guys that doesn't mind going to ground. I think you get mid defenders who like to do that. It's almost like they like slide tackle. It's not like they feel like they have to.
We're talking about timing,
goes
right?
in, gets it.
Fucking hell.
Looked a little too easy there. We're going to have to watch the replay back.
It was, I think defensively they allowed it, but overall, I think most of the time that goes in. Uruguay did a good job getting that ball into the box, and Borjan, I don't think could do much from that in that situation.
Let's take a look at that again. Yeah,
it's point blank, right? Like
so, ball goes in. Suarez crosses. Yeah, he just gets about Johnson.
Yeah, I want to see more Johnson there, but there's not much you could do. Like Johnson needs to watch the man as well as the ball, right?
At the end of the day, like Johnson can't just grow like half a foot in 20 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like Nunes is a taller, more physical guy that like you can't fight biology.
See, what I would like there is maybe a little bit more pressure, but
I'd like to maybe just do. I maybe would have liked to seen like a Miller or Victoria in that situation instead, like marking the main man.
And in that situation, Victoria stepped back to kind of help Borjan on a potential rebound, where you may want to see that switch with Alistair Johnston, but that's how the game, the ball was at the time of the positioning. Unfortunate. I want to see more from Johnson, maybe a little bit more aggression while the ball's in the air. But once it gets to that point, that's basically in the net. There's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, but that shows you just like how how tough it is at this level as well. We've been talking about how well
Yeah.
Canada have been playing and dictating the play. Long ball up from Uruguay. Suarez controls it great on the flanks, gets a fantastic cross in. Nunes up like a fish, and then it's 2-0.
They're playing well. Canada's playing well. Like, and we're
Yeah,
still
I don't want them to get disheartened.
no, exactly. And again, like I said earlier, I
Oh,
don't think
fantastic ball from
it
Eustachio.
was a great
Johnson,
goal.
okay, take your time. Low cross. Oh, right into the goalkeeper's
See,
hands.
in that situation, you want to see maybe a smarter choice because that's kind of in the goalie's way. But as I was saying, like Canada's playing well. We're not getting disheartened. We're still getting the men up. We're still making the efforts. I think they understand this game is a hard one. We're not necessarily supposed to win this game, but this is what we want to see. We want to see the confidence. We want to see the competitiveness, and that's what we're getting. And that's what I'm happy with. Lose this game 3-4, 5-0. If we keep playing this kind of style,
I mean,
it
maybe
makes
not
me feel
five.
no, but I'm over exaggerating, man. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that you lose, but if you go and lose while playing in this fashion, it makes it a lot better, especially going into the World Cup.
I want to see some substitutions made at halftime as well, especially if it does go to like.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I want Canada to go 3-0 down, but like 3-0 down would give you the sort of excuse to like make the changes with the game sort of being like
Yeah.
over as such.
Yeah. And
I want
we'll
to see
see.
Ackerman. Want to see Joel Ackerman get on the pitch.
And it would give us the opportunity to see a lot of stuff, right? Because we still didn't see Joel Waterman. We got a very small sample of Brian and Ugbo and Miller, Liam Miller in the last match. So getting these guys into this game, I think, would be even better to see where we stand when our bench comes onto the field against a team like Uruguay, right?
I wonder
Because
how telling it will be if, like, say, the likes of Waterman or Coburno don't get on this game. They wouldn't have got many minutes in these two friendly games. Would that be indicative of Herdman? Like, if he does see them on the plane, like this analogy doesn't really work if you break it down, but like they're on the back of the plane, they've got the last two tickets.
yeah. See, I think with Waterman though, as much as I want to see Joel Waterman play, I think it kind of comes down to this is more to get him into the roster, like training, see what he's like with the team. We may not necessarily see him on the field, but him still getting the call to practice and train with the guys is a good thing. Theodore Corbinu, though, who's been with the team before, if he doesn't get in there, I'm a little bit worried because I think he deserves a World Cup spot, especially at the moment. So, I mean, maybe if he doesn't get in, it does show that he's literally going to be that extra man, like
I
injuries.
think if he keeps scoring in the championship for Blackpool, and Blackpool aren't exactly a big side in the championship, it will give Herdman a bit of a head. It will give Herdman like what you call a nice problem.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Right? It'll give us a good luck, and we're doing well though. Like as long as we don't get any injuries. I mean, again, like the World Cup is still like what 2 months away. Injuries
Yeah, I mean, like
going
look
to
at
happen.
Uruguay though. Like one of their players who plays for Barcelona has to go for surgery. He's going to miss the World Cup now.
Yeah.
Like that could easily could have been a Canadian player instead going into this. Like,
it happens, and it's going to happen. And
the one
we got a foul outside the box. We'll have a free kick to swoop it in. I'm assuming we'll have a Stockio over it, so we'll see how that goes.
Stachio, yeah. Like I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna be bold here, Michael. I'm gonna say it. I think Eustachio is the best looking player in this team.
The best looking player.
He's the best looking player in this team. I think he's got that sort of like Mediterranean tan, the jet black hair, the little mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
He's definitely the playboy.
I think he's the best look. Yeah.
Stockio's not over it. We got Davies over the ball.
Davies, interesting.
It's in. Where is it?
Goes to the back post. Canadian head on it, and Uruguay are there to recycle the play. Piet and a combination of Piet and David. David looks like get the ball to Borjan. Apologies if I'm getting into the players mixed up. It's just because of the height of the camera. It's a bit difficult for me to make out who's who at times.
It is a little bit better than the stream we were watching. Oh, Davies.
The microwave stream.
There we go. Davies and David working together, but David fucking flips on the ball. He scuffs the pass.
Nearly, but like I'm really liking to see how direct Davies is in this. Like if I'm like a Belgian defender watching this game, I've got reason to be concerned. Especially because like they're all like the Belgian defence are all in the 30s, they're all pretty old. I'm saying this, maybe they'll play a 19-year-old or something out of nowhere will come up. Maybe there's a third Hazard brother. Okay.
There we go. Over the box.
Go on.
Laren.
Oh, just took a little bit too long with a shot there.
Uruguay so much quicker.
Gets the ball in space in the box. Takes one touch too many. Uruguay get a chance to close it down, but there was great play from Canada there. This is exactly what
was,
we're
yeah.
looking for, like those fast attacks to open up defenses and split teams up.
And the more you get those opportunities, the more chances you'll get, right? Obviously. So you keep
Laden's the
playing
one
like
guy
that.
you
Yeah,
want that to come to as well in the ball. So
exactly.
if there's one, if you're gonna get one chance at a game, you had to pick one Canadian to have it. You want it to be Laden. He does
No, I
everything.
think,
He does everything right as well.
yeah. I think what
Ooh.
we're seeing in this game right now is how well, sorry, how well Uruguay's defense is when it comes to structure, and that's something we can potentially learn from. Is like anytime our counter players even on the ball, there's constant coverage no matter where he's coming from, and we've
That's
seen
been a
Uruguay get
Uruguayan
away with that.
staple for the last 15 years or so. Like
Yeah,
that, I would describe Uruguay as kind of being like the Atletico Madrid of international football.
that's fair. But
Shithouse extraordinaires, really solid at the back. They always have really good strikers, and like they're a team that nobody wants to play. They've always reminded me of Atletico Madrid in that sense.
yeah, unless you're Costa Rica back in 2010,
Oh, I think you're thinking.
not 2010,
Oh,
2014.
oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. You're Costa Rica bit in the group stage, and it was Colombia. I think it put them out in the last 16.
Yeah, it was the group with
Oh, good little
Canada
reverse ball
and
there.
David knocked it off keeper's name there. I'm drawing a blank
Yeah,
on.
that was a good little reverse
Yeah,
ball there. I liked what I seen there.
yeah. And now Canada's putting no pressure on, and it's great to see. Like this is what we want to see. I love it. I love the pressure we're putting on right now. Davies working it, can't get on the end.
Oh,
Davies does such a good job of making an effort there. Could not get
I
on
know what
the
you're
end.
saying about like them losing, like you don't mind losing 3 or 4-0, but like the way
100%
they're
Andre.
playing, like they really deserve a goal here.
David.
They're playing
Oh,
well. They're playing far too good not to like get something for their efforts.
yeah. Andre, you're 100% right. The Laren chance should have been a shot on the first touch. 100%. Canada's got a
It should have
corner
been,
now,
yeah.
though,
I think
so
I imagine like there's most strikers in the world will try and take that first touch. Will take that first touch there.
yep.
Oh,
Oh,
oh! I thought Miller had it there.
so did I.
Adekubi recycles the play. Oh, just enough to get it to Eustachio. Use the goalkeeper. No shame in that. Keep possession.
Yeah.
Borjan gets the
Just don't hold
ball.
it. Get
Oh.
rid of it. Like, fuck. Jesus!
Oh!
Borjan, you fucking hell, man. Just get rid of
Borjan,
it.
buddy, how's that ankle?
Thank God.
Oh,
Holy
sliding
hell.
again.
And now Canada's on a
Oh, and
break.
it
Nope.
works. Oh,
Nope. Called it
oh,
back.
what's that? Is that offside?
I think so. Oh, my Lord, Borjan.
I
Oh,
think it's offside on Uruguay, and that's why Laren was looking annoyed there because Canada
yeah.
had the advantage.
Yeah. It is what it is. We had a good chance there, but we got lucky there. Canada got pretty lucky there.
Yeah, well, I mean, rather make that mistake now than in Qatar.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about like their recovery speed and how well Canada are and speed in the back, and like I guess that was another example of it there. Like they can get themselves out of trouble based off their own talent.
Yeah.
So I
I
mean,
would
I'm not
agree with
saying
that.
I'm not saying do that again. Never do that again. But it's not like it's not doesn't fill you with dread straight away. Just a little bit of dread.
Yeah, for sure.
Great ball from Miller there.
Uh,
Oh,
David put it through for Glarin. It was just again
Miller.
defensive coverage. Defensive coverage.
What I'm saying could be absolutely nuts. But like, say if Canada had like two good defenders behind him,
Hmm.
we've seen that Miller's a pretty creative guy. He likes to get up the field. He does have an eye for a killer pass. Do you think he could possibly send defensive midfield?
Miller.
Yeah,
Um,
like I know that
I think
I'm
if it
just kind of
absolutely,
spitballing here, just based off what I've seen from him in Montreal and Canada this season.
if absolutely needed to, he probably could adjust. I just think if we do that, we're really losing a solid center back.
I know what you mean. It's like I'm not saying we don't. I'm not saying our other two centre backs are unreliable, but like as Miller is an anchor in there, I
Yeah.
don't really want to break up that Miller and Vittoria like partnership at the back.
Neither do I. And like they just work so well together. I think they've been very much an unsung hero of our World Cup qualifiers. So
I do wonder if it is a tactic though, because Miller always seems to be very far up the field. Like when Canada are
he
on the
has
ball,
been.
yeah, when Canada are on the ball, I wonder if it is like a sort of tactic that Vittoria's back. Maybe
Yeah.
they got the wing backs to cover as well. That they allow
People to
Miller
move
to
up.
have
Yeah.
that much more advanced role of the two.
I
Kind
agree,
of
but
like
like I could be wrong, but I don't really remember seeing too much of that during the World Cup qualifiers. Like I really noticed it against Qatar.
It's kind of been recent, yeah. Like I've seen it
Yeah.
against Montreal. I've seen it for Montreal. Like Sometimes at Montreal, he's like in the box.
Yeah, well, he's got a couple goals this year to show it too, right? So
Yeah, well, like he's got some pretty good assists as well. Like I remember, like I said, when we watched like, the Toronto game they played, like I really noticed it then.
yeah, no, for sure. Um,
Eustachio as the ball gets the ball, looking for that killer pass, plays it forward, recycle the ball out to Johnson. Lorea's on the wings there too. Lorea's been a bit quiet in this game so far. I want to see a bit more from him.
yeah, he's had moments, but other than pissing off Suarez, he hasn't done too much.
Which I mean, if that's all he does, that's okay with me.
Oh yeah, you want to get those stars off their feet, right? You want to get in their head and piss them off and
I mean,
make
it
them
doesn't take much to get Suarez off his feet, to be fair.
no. His teeth will tell you the same thing.
Great ball there from Eustachio. Makes it out to Laren. Lorea, sorry. Okay, there's Piet there. Swing the ball back to him. Then Eustachio. Oh, just a bit too much on it there.
Yeah, unfortunate. Unfortunate that was.
I can't imagine there's going to be too much time added on here other than the goal. Well, the Borjan injury as well. I'm going to predict 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say 2 minutes as well.
They haven't told us how much time is added on yet. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. We're pros at this point. Oh, the one soccer just are you serious, man? Oh my god.
Slow clap. Slow clap.
Fucking one soccer does it again. Holy shit.
I've got my other stream back up. I'm
about to. Jesus Christ.
Uruguay get the ball up pitch. It looks like Nunes is through, but the offside flag comes up to save Canada.
Thank God.
He looks annoyed by
one
it.
soccer's back. One soccer is back.
He is just offside. Like, if the play is inside your half, you're not offside, and it's
one soccer is currently using a different stream. Okay, they are not even using their own thing; they are using somebody else's.
Interesting.
It is interesting, but you're like coming.
At least they're trying to improvise to get something going.
Yeah.
You wonder as well how many people have just bought a one soccer subscription to watch these games.
Well, exactly.
It's not exactly. It doesn't help you going forward for your product, does it?
Not at all.
Good to see all the hard-earned money that the Canadian men's team got for qualifying for the World Cup that goes to CSA's coffins and then goes to CSB's coffers. That's getting put to good use.
I was about to say, I don't know how much one soccer is getting from that, but you know what it is. I'm assuming if anyone's joining us now, I'm assuming because one soccer cut out for a bit. They are back on, by the way, but thank you for joining. Okay, we're at halftime. Okay, so thank you for joining. Please continue watching. We are going until the end of the match. Halftime is upon us, and we will be covering the second half here as well. And for the second half, Andre should be joining us. So when Andre's here, make sure to subscribe to for Andre so he can have a good little lap over that.
What'd you make of that first half then?
We got some messages here. We got Luke back in here. Thanks again for the comment, Luke. Sadly, Canada doesn't play teams at this level often enough. No, they don't, and that's something we talked about on the last live stream against Qatar. We believe Herdman did this on purpose, kind of focus on your own region before you go into other regions. Almost like you have to conquer your home before you can conquer the world. Is the way I like to look at it. Do I agree with that? Not necessarily. I don't. I would like to see more friendlies like this, and maybe after the World Cup, we'll get more friendlies like this. To keep us at that competitive level, because we can only grow so much when we just play US and Mexico over and over.
I do think the last time they played outside the CONCACAF was Iceland in like early 2020, right?
Yeah.
And then we all know what happened to the rest of that year.
But even that game was in America. Like we haven't even played outside of CONCACAF since 2018.
Right. But I mean, the opposition wasn't CONCACAF.
No,
I mean, it's like Canada went through a grueling World Cup qualifying schedule. Like they've had to play a lot. They had to play all the preliminary rounds. They didn't just start at the last date. Like I know that's when the campaign got into gear, really, but they had to play like a whole bunch of like countries I've never heard of before. Like part of me, like I just don't think there was space to put in a friendly game against teams. Especially because they had to play about 1 million CONCACAF qualifying games. So, like, why would you take the team to Europe and then and then 3 days later you got to play a qualifying game at home?
Well, I'm not necessarily saying take them to Europe, but I'm kind of suggesting you try to bring them over here. I
But how
understand
though? The Blue Jays couldn't even play their baseball games in Canada.
Oh well, yeah, during COVID, yeah, but again, like it's been since 2018 since we even left. So yeah, okay. I mean, I understand COVID was a problem, especially in Canada. Like when it came to international borders, we saw it with the NHL, we saw it with the Blue Jays, we saw it with wasn't like all the MLS teams had to play in America as well at one point.
Every
Um,
Canadian team basically had to
that's what I meant. Yeah.
play in America.
So I understand what you're saying when it comes to COVID, but there has been other opportunities where we could have got friendlies other places. Because I
I
remember looking at
really
it for a
only
while.
think the Iran one's the only chance we've had, just because of the this grueling schedule they've had. Like, there's just you couldn't fit. Plus, it's not just Canada's grueling schedule. You look at all the games you're going to play in international football, like all the Nations League games, all their
Yeah,
qualifying games. You had the Euros, you had the Copa America. Like, you can't just playing Canada is just going to be an inconvenience, and it'll
yeah,
be an
nation.
inconvenience for Canada too. Like, I don't think it's Canada's fault that. I don't think it was a bad idea either to like you said,
Mhm.
establish themselves as big dogs in CONCACAF and concentrate on getting over the likes of Honduras, Costa Rica, and Mexico.
Yeah, another comment from Luke. Again, thank you. We haven't played a team in its South America since 2014. Um, I'm even drawing a blank on who that was. Who did we play in 2014? Was that Colombia?
I know
Uh,
the last time they played a team outside of CONCACAF at home, I think it was 2011 against Ecuador.
yeah, I think you're right. I'm just trying to think of the 2014 one. I don't know why, but Colombia's coming to mind. I could be wrong there.
It'd
I'm not
probably
sure
be a
who
World
it
Cup
was.
team from that year, yeah, like one of the World Cup
Hmm.
warm up teams.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, you want to talk about the first half here. The first goal by Borjan, I think again it was such a good placement. It's a hard goal to save, and when I asked, I want a little bit more from Borjan. It really is a little bit more. He did good making the effort, but it was just a good play shot. The second goal, again, a little bit more from
Just
Alistair
watching it back
Johnson.
then now, it's one of these ones where, like, if you flip it, say that was Alfonso Davies scoring the free kick, are you saying it was a good free? Would you say it's a good free kick?
Yeah,
That's what I mean. Like, you like if that was the other way around, you're going, oh, we got really lucky there with the goalkeeper. No, you're going, oh, that was a really good free kick from Davies.
yeah. I think you could give and take for both of them. In all honesty, I think you can make arguments for both. Anytime you see a free kick goal go in, I think it's a good free kick goal. They're
The
not
more I watch
easy.
the second goal, the more I'm a bit. I just like I wish someone else was there instead of Johnson to pick up the man.
Juan came in and says Canada needs to keep the possession up. Um, sorry, in the last 10 minutes of the half, Herdman needs to make sure some halftime subs as well. I agree with you, Juan. Canada has done very well of keeping in the game, even though going down to nothing. They're still active. They're still searching for that goal. They've had opportunities. They're hungry. They really want to prove themselves. And I do want to see some subs as well for Canada. If I was choosing the next player to come on at the moment, I would probably bring on a little bit of leadership with Junior Hoylett and maybe bring him on. What do you think?
I'm thinking Buchanan.
If Buchanan's good to go, like again, like he was called to the team, so therefore I want to see him play because if not, that's just a wasted spot in my opinion, where we could have had another guy come in and try to prove himself before the World Cup. So we'll see, but I'm
Yeah,
okay with Buchanan coming on if he's ready, because we don't
yeah. I
want him
would
to come
say,
back too early, right?
like I said, I don't think Levea's had too much of an impact on the right wing, which I mean, that's not his game. He is a defender. But I think you're 2-0 down. It's a friendly, no consequence for trying to go and win the game anyway. I think we should try and put Buchanan on if he's good to go, get some game time, and
Yeah.
try and expose Uruguay down the wings because they've had a lot of success on the left wing. And I want to try and replicate that more on the right wing as well.
Hmm. I think we have a Uruguay fan trying to chirp us in the comments, but jokes on you. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, joke's on you, buddy. We can't read.
Well, I
What's
can't
that?
read when it's not English, okay?
What's that meme where it's like seen from Arthur or something? The guy's got a sign at a school window. It's like, well, if those kids could read, they'd be very upset.
Yep.
Well, see, because I'm nice. Is it on our YouTube comments?
It is our YouTube comments, yeah. Um,
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can
you can do some
copy and paste.
translation.
We can try and copy and paste it.
Oh,
Copy and
I can.
paste that into Google.
There, I'll show everyone else who's. Here we go. It's on this. There you go. Here's the comment, and he had another one as well. If anyone wants to translate for this for me, please do. Um,
I don't think it's something chirping us? I think it's just talking
I don't know.
about.
He's laughing. I took the laughing emoji. I don't know. Maybe
I
I'm
see.
wrong.
I see word copper and a trophy. I think he's saying Canada are going to win the World Cup.
That's it. Alley, alley. And then we have this comment as well. Juan, you want to do some translation for us? Assuming you know. I don't know.
You know, Juan doesn't work for us at Everton, right? We can't just get him to work.
Juan is a beast. Okay, Juan is our boy.
Okay. If you tell me what, keep that on the screen, and I'll tell you what that says.
All right. But thank you so much for.
Yeah, thank you to everyone so far who's been a part of this so far.
Yeah, thank you for drop in the comments, even if you're chirping us, Fabiana. I'm so sorry, I'm white. Thank you so much for the comments. Please subscribe if you guys are watching. We'll be back for more World Cup YouTube content in the coming months. We have videos uploaded every week. We do we do a podcast where you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that stuff. So make sure to check us out at the FC13 podcast. But most of all, thank you so much for joining us. This is so much fun, and we love doing it. And hopefully, if it works in our favor, we'll be doing this for all of Canada's World Cup matches as well.
Okay, so this that's probably one of these ones where it's like it's just something you would say informally in a language that doesn't quite work with Google Translate, because that just came up for me saying, "How does Uruguay dad house?"
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think he's trying to say this is Uruguay's house. No, maybe. I don't know.
No, is that not Casa?
I don't.
House is Casa. I'm like 90% sure of that.
I love how you know that. I have no idea, man.
Yeah, they're like, make Casa, su Casa.
Oh, we got a little bit of a translation here. Thank you. Here we go. I'll put it up on the screen. Thank you, Juan. Here's a little bit of a translation. Uruguay are contenders for winning the World Cup. In the second half, Uruguay will score 2 more.
Well, if they do score 2 more, they certainly will be contenders. You know, like you'd have to be only the best teams in the world can beat Canada.
Uruguay are definitely contenders. I'm not going to argue that, and that's why I was happy for Canada to get this match. We needed this match to show where we stand against the world. We're so lost in our terms at time because we play America, we play US. Like, yeah, we beat the best of CONCACAF, but when you go in outside of CONCACAF, how high do the US and Mexico actually rank? And don't throw FIFA points at me to say where, because there's no way in hell the US are top 10 or whatever.
How many fixtures in the world could be more difficult though, man, than Honduras away? There cannot be many more fixtures in the world more nothing puts a fear into your heart more than the words Honduras away.
Oh, I know. And Canada,
you know, England don't have to deal with that. Argentina don't have to deal with that. Japan don't deal with that.
Kone will score a screamer at the 65th minute. Dude, I'm hoping. I would love to see
You read it
Kone
here
get
first.
on.
I don't know, man. If that comes true, I think we're going to have to do some investigation into this game.
I would absolutely love Kone to score a goal. It would make me so happy to see him get on it. It's just another young talent where we want to see thrive with the holy hell, sorry, I'm burping. It's just another young talent we want to see thrive with the nation 100%.
Coney was one of those guys you think had an eye on for 2026, but like he's pushed himself into being part of the squad for this one as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing we got to remember as well is like Canada are good now. I think this Canada side could be really, really scary come 2026.
Yeah, I mean we can, and especially with it being on our home field.
Out with Victoria and Borja, I think everybody in this team could conceivably still be in the squad by then.
2026, we won't have Hutchinson. I don't think we'll have Victoria. We won't have Pietz. We won't have Borjan. I don't know if I said him. We won't have did I say Hoylett? I think there's a couple players obviously that's going to be off. A lot of older players, but
you'll have a peak David, peak Davies, peak Buchanan, peak Eustachio.
St. Clair will be our keeper if he keeps this up, or if nobody else comes in the next 4 years. But I think it'll be St. Clair.
That's the thing as well. Like you don't know what players are going to come through at that point as well. So
hopefully we'll see players like Apsey make the team.
Yeah. I'm going to enjoy every moment possible of this World Cup. But come 2026, I'm like, right, boys, let's get a fucking star. Let's get a star on that jersey. Let's get no ifs, no buts. Get a star on that jersey. Unless you're playing Scotland.
Yeah, You guys have made 2 World Cups in a row now. We want to see a trophy, even though one is through qualifying.
I know. I'm only joking, of course, but like I do think Canada, like going into 2026, will probably have like very inflated expectations.
hmm And Paul's technical difficulties are keeping up in good old fashioned a little bit, a little choppy
Oh,
from Paul,
come
but that's
on!
okay. Oh, we got that
No,
through, but
seriously.
that's okay because Andre should be here any minute now. We're waiting for you, Andre, because we can't wait to hear your takes on that first half, and we also can't
When
wait to
Andre
hear
comes in,
why you're late.
I'm going to grab a charger as well, so he can have all the time in the world to explain himself.
Sounds good.
I think he had the audacity to be at his work.
Yeah,
How
like,
dare he?
dude, who has a job these days? Like, come on.
Oh, I mean, the thing you do is you have a job that have a job that starts after this game's over. Obviously,
Yeah. See, or you could do what the real pros do, and they make sure they don't work at all for the World Cup. They take like 3 weeks vacation, or they just quit their job for 3 weeks and then go back.
yeah, there's a labor shortage out there, folks. Take advantage of it.
The World Cup is only going to make it better. The amount of people that are going to get fired for the World Cup, you never know. Uh, but yes, thank you so much
Especially
for
I woke
everyone
up
who's
with all the
watching.
games in the morning.
Oh, exactly. Everyone's gonna be switching from morning shifts to evening shifts so they can watch the World Cup.
Canada matched it. I remember when I first came to Canada 4 years ago when the Russia World Cup just started. Like one of the first things I did was requested a day off for the final. I was like,
Did you get it?
oh yeah, of course. Like I did it like about a month in advance.
Oh, okay.
Like,
That's the
but
thing, though.
yeah,
Like,
I made sure of it.
that's the thing. Like, every time I played for worked for an important game, I always try to like play with my schedule to let me in there. If it didn't fall into my luck, I'm like, oh well. You actually, there was the 2014 World Cup. I would just watch on my phone at work. I kept it in my pocket and used it like a radio because I had a pocket up here, so I used that like a radio.
Oh, that was another one. I think I was off for a lot for the good games, like the memorable ones. I was working as well, but like for example, like I was able to watch the Germany Brazil game at home, and I was able to watch the final at home. Which I mean, like if you can remember only one game of that World Cup, it is going to be that 7-1 game, isn't it?
Yep. I was watching this TikToker, and he did like this thing like most surprising moments on like a random team generator, and he mentioned when he brought up Brazil, I'm like it has to be that Germany
Has
lost,
to
right?
be.
And he put that one. America came up. I was like, it has to be when they beat England back in the 50s, and that's the one he picked. There was a couple other ones. I was like, yeah. Um, was it Ghana? And I think yeah, Ghana was one, and I was like, it has to be that Uruguay game when Suarez with the handball, and then they missed the pen off the crossbar, and it might be one of the only times you see a player cry when a goal actually isn't scored.
A lot of
On
people. So
Uruguay's side, anyways.
what's your take on that? Like 12 years since the event, like my kind of take on it hasn't really changed since it happened.
The
I would have
Uruguay
like I would have done the exact same as Suarez.
the Uruguay handball? Like what do I think should have happened?
Oh, like a lot of people like really had it out for Suarez. Oh, how dare
Mhm,
you? This is
mhm.
sacrilege. This goes against the sanctity of this.
At the
Ghana should
time,
be awarded a goal anyway.
I remember I said at the time they should have awarded Ghana with a straight up goal. Uh, and I still kind of lean to that, but at the same time, I don't. It's a weird one. Um,
I can see the argument for it, but like
second
I
half has
think it
just
opens
started, by
up
the way,
way too much of a can of. I think it opens up way too much of a can of worms.
because you get into the argument of what does a handball mean anymore once you do that, right?
I think it's too much of a Pandora's box if you just start awarding like goals from fouls.
Yeah, exactly. It just the, it brings you to the point of anytime somebody uses a handball in the box, you argue where's the
And
goal
and
almost, right?
to be blunt, the only reason we're still talking about it is because Ghana missed the penalty. If Ghana missed the
Exactly,
penalty, nobody cares.
hundred
Sorry, if
percent.
Ghana scored the penalty, nobody cares.
So we do have our first sub for Canada, and
Suarez
it's
is off.
we have Richie Larea come off for Junior Hoylett. So John Herdman's listening to the stream. He heard what I said, and he thought that was a good choice. Bring it on Junior Hoylett for Richie
Yeah,
Larea.
he's listening to you, not listening to me. This has been a very sobering moment for me.
That's all right. That's all right.
I'm not
You're
surprised.
still you're still new to the Canada soccer. That's okay.
Laurea's had his moments since he went back to Toronto, but like
Yeah.
it still looks as if it's Johnson's spot to lose that right back position. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong. Nothing wrong with having two solid right backs, you know.
No, and honestly, I don't mind them on when they're at the same time because they do work decently well together overall.
Like I think it is something they'll probably explore. They probably will explore for the Croatia and Belgium games.
I want Luke to know if Luke, you're still here. If I could, I would put a timer up at the top corner to count down to that Kone screamer. Unfortunately, I can't. But mentally, I'm looking for that Kone screamer.
Yeah, he said the 68th minute, right?
He's at 65th. 65th minute. We are supposed to have
Got
our
it. We'll look at the
screamer.
62nd minute. I'll be keeping an eye on it. So Canada on the ball again. First half just. Second half just started. Good ball from you. Oh, just short there.
Where are you? How are you ahead of me? What minute are you on?
I'm on 46:40. I'm
Oh,
on 46:50.
I'm ahead of you.
What are you on?
I'm on 47:09. But I'll pause and hold up. Let me know. Let me know when you get to 13.
57, 58, 59. So I'm 13 seconds away.
From 47:13?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know.
Okay, Kamal Miller has the ball. Clears it up the field. 1, 2, 13. There we go.
Okay. I should be with you now.
Yep, ball goes back to Borjan. Glad to see he's okay. I think he just kind of like slightly rolled his ankle a bit. Like, you know,
yeah.
He's not Neuer. Not everyone can do that. But I mean, well, he's been pretty good at it.
Yeah, I mean, Borjan, he's a tough guy.
It's not really something I've associated with him beforehand. Maybe it's one of these ones now that I've noticed it. If I was to watch Canada games back, I'd be noticing it all the time. Like he basically plays like a sweeper keeper.
Yeah. Sorry, my stream buggered up. What minute are you on?
I'm about to 47:57.
Okay, I'm a second behind you. Look at that. I guessed that.
Close enough, right? I'm not pausing for a second.
That's fine.
You're just gonna have to make do, buddy.
That's fine.
Johnson with the ball in. Too close.
Too much for Laren.
I think everybody thought the goalkeeper was going to get that. It was in a dangerous situation.
And that's almost like that's one of the things I hate is like when you assume a player's going to do something and you can't hold back. It's like, no, just push. You gotta push.
I think it's one of these. I don't know. I think the goalkeeper would have just picked that up anyway if someone went. You know, one of those ones where like say the goalkeeper has just got the ball at his feet. He's just waiting for the striker to walk over to and then picks it up.
I kind of disagree. I think if Laren got ahead to that, that's a solid goal opportunity.
Well, we'll just have to do it again. Do the exact same cross again. And One Soccer are now just announcing the substitution for Canada.
Even though it happened at the 45th minute mark. Or sorry, 46.
Cut them some slack. They're having an off day today.
And
ball being a bit loose there.
They called Samuel Piet there.
I didn't notice a foul there. Didn't know. I mean,
it was just one of those situations. Like, yeah, you got a replay here. Yeah, that's a foul.
It's a foul. He's doing. He's being very, let's say, Latin American about it. there has to be a better way to put that.
Yeah, a little bit, maybe. How many times do I have to say it?
Bit of the dark arts there.
How many times do I have to say it, Paul? You can't just say this shit to people.
Is it like the Mean Girls quote you're trying to do there?
No. What's that quote?
You know the Mean Girls quote? It's like, oh my god, you can't just ask people why they're white.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Because like Lindsay Lohan's character's like from Africa or something.
Yeah. So why are you white?
Is this a replay or the game still happening? Yeah,
it's back on. It's back on.
It always throws me off when they like, oh,
there you go.
Good dispossession there.
That was huge.
Okay, be smart with this. Ball on the right.
Out to Hoylett.
Quick ball in.
No strikers up there for it. But Canada win another corner. Come on. That's what the type of stuff we need. Keep it.
It's always funny watching those like you as a spectator. It's just like, oh, that's a terrible ball. Why did the defender put it out for a corner? But like, in real life, like you got to play it safe.
As a defender, you don't know what's around you all the time, right? So you got to make sure.
That's what I'm saying. It's funny to watch it as a spectator because you have the ability to go, no, don't touch that, but you don't have that on the field.
Oh, just missed the head of Laren.
Goes to the front post, gets a couple of people go up for it, goes past everybody.
Just missed Laren. Yeah, Laren had a good chance there.
That's a nice looking stadium. I like the different shades of blue for the seats.
Yeah, do you know who plays there?
I'm going to assume Slovenia's national team play there.
I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
Slovan Bratislava.
Yep.
That's
Well,
it. The only Slovenian team I know.
and that's where they play, baby.
Good for them.
And the Slovakian national team as well. So,
Yeah, I figured so. It looks too nice
One
a
and one,
stadium.
baby.
For.
Yeah, 1-1. So yeah, kind of has started well to the second half. Opportunities have come, keeping the ball up high, but not really giving Uruguay much of a chance to come back in
I think if they keep
into the
playing their
zone, not
game,
into the
and
game.
I think if they keep playing their game, like they will get a goal here. Or they'll be very unlucky not to score.
That's how I
Eustachio gets
felt.
dispossessed there, and it's a foul. Good stuff. Keeps the ball for Canada.
That's how I felt against Qatar when all the kids came on for Canada. I was like, a third goal's coming. These guys are so hungry. And then you had Ugbo miss that chance right in front of the net. So
If there's one player I really want to see score a goal for Canada soon, it's got to be him. Like
is
we
Ugbo?
were talking
Yeah.
about, it on our soon pre-release podcast. That like the longer like you go without scoring at international level as a striker, just the
Yeah.
more and more it's used as a stick to beat you.
Fortunately for him, though, Canada doesn't have many strikers to compete with him at the moment. So
He doesn't know, but like
he's a little bit safe.
that can all that you know how fast international football can
Oh yeah.
move in that sense.
100%.
You don't.
Good
You're only as
pressure.
good as
We get the ball back.
your last appearance.
Good pass. Atagubi's at the top of the box.
Play
Not doing
seemed to
much
slow
movement.
down there. It was almost as if they were like everyone was checking, like they were on
Yeah.
site.
Yeah, nobody knew exactly where they were. They
They
didn't
got a
expect
bit
to
of
get
an
that ball
overload in
back.
that. They've got an overload in that left hand side. Canada like playing on that left hand side so far.
Hoylett won it, but they're not looking at
Yeah, I
Hoylett.
seen that there. He's got his hand up.
Hoylett wants this. He's not getting it though.
Pierre on the ball. Canada are like dictating this. They are dictating the pace here. They're not playing like a team 2-0 down, which is how you're supposed to treat friendlies. Like
Yeah,
there's
Hoylett's
no
making a
point trying
run.
to go at. Oh. You as well as just keep like playing your own game and like fine tuning that.
So you're saying you want Ugbo to score? I'm going to agree with Luke here. I would like to see Kone. I like to see when the younger guys come in and make an impact. But I'm also going with Liam Miller. Liam Miller is a player I absolutely love. I feel like he kills it game in and game out for Basel on most nights. But with Canada, he's been kind of back fiddle. People have questioned, is he able to play for Canada? So I think if Liam Miller could come in and get a goal, not only would it be huge for him, but it might target those disbelievers in him. I kind of get another corner. Let's go. Oh, I think Paul will have technical difficulties with Paul once again. I'm not hearing Paul. I can barely see Paul, but Canada has a corner, and I'll talk you through it. Eustachio over everyone's head and out for a goal kick, unfortunately. Paul may have to restart his computer. I don't know what's on with his end. I got a noise there, but not much more. That's okay. And again, while Paul's teching out, I want to thank everyone for watching. Drop your comments. We'll address them. And please subscribe and check us out on Spotify or Apple Podcast for our podcast that we drop on a weekly basis. Actually, and we should have a new podcast out within the next hour. So after if you watch this game with us, you can go on and listen to our new podcast that drops in about an hour. So thank you so much and keep watching. Canada's been pretty good. I've been very impressed with us. I've been very happy with us. Again, this isn't a game I necessarily expected to win or even get a draw. I just want to see how we actually held up against them, and we're doing well. And we have Mr. Paul back in the stream. How you doing, bud?
I never left. I was stuck in the void.
You were you were gone for us.
Yeah, I was stuck behind the wall. I was like, I've never seen the movie Ghost. Can Demi Moore see Patrick Swayze in Ghost?
I think so.
Oh, okay, that ruins it then. I was gonna say like I'm the Patrick Swayze, it's your Demi Moore.
So we have now Samuel Piet off for Kone, Ismail Kone, and he has 10 minutes to score that so-said screamer.
I mean, if he scores it just whenever, I'll be happy with that too.
Oh, and the people are excited to see Kone come on. Let's go. We want to.
He's definitely the sort of next man up in terms of like the young Canadian talent we want to see do well. We've seen the likes of David Buchanan and all that establish himself, and we're looking at Coney as like, all right, you're the next guy up.
Yeah, he is. He
keep
really
up this feel good story.
And that move to England will only make it better whenever it does happen. Whenever it eventually happens, this move to England will make it uh, a little bit more to that level.
Yeah, he does play for Montreal now, but like it is bit essentially inevitable at this point. It looks like he will move to England. Like there's championship clubs really in for him. It looks very likely he was going to sign for Sheffield United. Like until like there was some last minute changing of plans of their transfer budget.
And I truly believe that will happen in January.
I think January leaves him in a good place if he does get some appearances in the World Cup. He can command like a higher transfer fee, higher wages, and he can take a look at the table in January. You know, like survey his options. Like if Sheffield United are still interested in them, but they're like 21st, or if Norwich are interested in them and they're like second in the league, like that makes the decision a little bit easier. Canada get dispossessed there. And looks like they keep things. Miller, Cam and Collective there. That's what I mean. He's a very good footballer.
All right, I'm going to stop you there, Paul. I would like to introduce Mr. Well, to you, ladies and gents. Anyways, Mr. Andre McCray. Here he is.
There he is.
Well, if I'm not late, it's not normal. That's my only thing.
We're not doing a sub, but we are adding a man. He comes on with Kone, essentially. How you doing, Andre?
Just like Kone, not well.
I'm gonna go and grab a charger while Andre gets himself familiar with a live stream.
Just well, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, I've still been watching this game. Unfortunately, I did have a little bit of work commitments I had to attain to. However, yeah. Oh, fucking trust me, I know. I still effectively would have been late for my original starting point of 1. But I had very mistakenly assumed that this game was going to be at the exact same time as the previous one. And that is my fault.
So did I. Not to worry. I definitely thought Paul texted me at like 11. He goes, "Hey, we still going live at 11:45?" I'm like, "Yes."
See.
I had to struggle, get everything ready, but here we are. And you were watching, so what do you think of the first half? You overall happy?
Not so much. I found it very disjointed. Obviously, Uruguay is a very good team. Like that goes without saying. We don't need to mince words and say they're not good. But my problem is that there seems to sort of be not that communication. I think that was present in that Qatar game, and that might come back to bite us. I'm kind of worried about it.
I think we've played a very similar game to how we played against Qatar. I do think that. I think.
But I think that similarity is not doable. You can't play the same game.
Because it's more of a prestigious team, is what you're saying?
It's also the play style. So the South American play style is going to be very different than a European play style. That's different than an Asian play style. And that's kind of, I think, our problem is it worked very well against Qatar, but you're playing against a team that's too tight, and their man marking, I think, a little bit better.
They are
than Qatar. Yeah. You've got players who are playing in the same leagues as ours. So they know how they play. They know how they operate. They know how they pass. They're dealing with them on a day-to-day basis. Qatar doesn't really get that. They don't get that same, at least as a whole, that same interaction with our players. And I think this is where
it's a very good point
coming to bite us.
I'll give you that. That's a very good point to throw out there.
Good save, though. But chat, how do you like it?
How's your one soccer stream, Andre?
We all know my feelings.
Ahead of us.
Yeah, I'm a little bit ahead of you guys.
I was okay, just no spoilers because Paul's a little bit of a spoiler head. I had to tell him to back it up.
Oh no, my stream was working perfectly fine.
Yeah, well, we can't have you having nice things.
Good touch from Victoria to knock that away from goal.
Oh yeah, I am 100% ahead of you boys.
Yeah, you are.
It's a weird thing to say, but it's weird to say this, but other than like the second goal, I think Canada defended fine. Like apart from the moment they didn't defend well, they defended well.
Yeah, those goals were great that we didn't score.
You're like, apart from that time you crashed the car, you drove pretty well.
Right there, Princess Diana.
Like,
oh, fuck.
Too soon?
There goes there goes the family-friendly rating.
Yeah,
substitutions for Uruguay. Substitutions for Uruguay here. I can't imagine it'll be too long before we see some more substitutions for Canada in this game.
I'm sure
it's a friendly. Yeah. There's no real need to play the full team that amount of time. I can imagine Davies will probably come off. Like pick that.
Yeah,
Well, not
I
up
think
against
we'll see-
Qatar, and there's no need to run him into the ground for nothing. Essentially,
I think we'll see more offensive changes for sure. I maybe bring on Waterman to give one of the back guys a break, or Scott Kennedy because he was supposed to start.
Victoria is 35, and he's played a lot of football over this international window so far.
Yeah, and he plays
Yeah.
all the games for Chavez over in Portugal as well. So I'd be surprised if he doesn't get taken off. But
Well, we've got to not kill our guys. This is still at the end of the day a friendly.
yeah,
Like I no matter what anyone says, it is still a friendly. So if we run our guys into the ground, like we do risk injury, we risk, don't
Yeah.
just keep them on there for the sake of getting a result.
Yep.
Now try bringing in your players who you think are your
It's
backups,
not.
your
Yeah, it's
third
not as if
strings.
winning. It's not as if winning this game's going to change your seeding for the World Cup. That ship has sailed. So
yeah.
It's a scenario where I think now is your best time to see shit's hit the fan. I've lost some of my best players through an injury or a foul or a red card. Let's bring in what I think is my backup. Let's see how they do against a team like this.
That's
Right?
what Uruguay have done there. They took Bentancur off as one of their star midfielders. They brought on Ugarte,
Yeah.
and Nunes has came off for Satriano. He's not Okay, so expect me and Michael to say the exact same thing in about 20 seconds time.
There goes
Oh,
Davies.
that was it,
Davies.
yeah.
Not Davies. David. Here's David. In for
Oh, I wonder if he's
Eustachio. No,
gonna-
in for Davies. Eustachio. No.
Ah.
Fucking hell.
One
Just
thing
take
I've been
a
really
shot at
impressed
one
with so
point.
far in this game, Andre, is like Canada's willingness to like win the ball upfield.
Yes.
Good save.
Yes.
I think
David.
Canada's
Oh.
high press is one of their is like a not so secret weapon for them when it comes against Croatia and Belgium.
I
Kind of won a corner there.
I really I really think a big one that's going to help for us is our speed in that scenario.
100%.
So
that's,
when
that's
we-
our biggest plus.
Because the speed is great up the sides, but I think the speed of us pressing in the box is what's going to give us that ability to quickly get that ball, like quickly connect, get that ball and keep putting pressure on, because eventually something's got to go through.
We see Davies will sometimes play a more central role for Canada as well. So I wonder if that's a plan, because we are, like I said, we are good for space down the wings.
Yeah.
If there is it could be a tactic to maybe get Davies to drift inside and give us that burst of energy in the middle as well, going directly at Croatian, Belgian, and Morocco defenders.
That was a poor delivery from Davies on the corner, though. So we're
Yeah,
back
I
up.
like it when Eustachio takes the corners.
Yeah, and this is something I noticed from Davies
Mhm.
quite often. When we're losing, he becomes very individual, I find.
Yeah.
I think he's been playing pretty well in this game
No,
with the
no,
team so far.
overall, but as the time's going on, watch him. I think you'll see that Davies is going to take more
Yeah.
control.
Yeah,
think
yeah.
he
He
will.
tends. We saw that a lot in the qualifiers. The running up the field to be much further up than he would normally sort of play.
Well,
All right,
Omar,
Andre, what's your
Omar,
oh,
thank you for the comments. Though we do disagree, but thank you for joining on this live
it's
stream.
fine.
And
I'll take it. Doesn't bother me.
if you're a fan of Canada soccer, thank you for watching.
He's a fan of. He's just a fan of the sport. He wants football to win. Ball comes in from Eustachio.
Oh my
Miller gets a head on
God.
it, but like just too
That's
much
two
power.
games.
Okay, at least
Two games in a row.
I have now like synced up my time with your boys' time,
Okay, good.
because I was like trying to shut my fucking mouth for that, and I was like, I need to go. But
come
Well, what's
on
your
over,
time
though.
at,
That's
Andre?
2 games in a row. He almost scored.
I got it at 4:30, 64:30.
Okay, pause it.
Pause it.
Yeah, so we can sync up.
What are you at? I just
He is
synced it up.
synced.
We're now at 6-4. We're now at 64-40.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm at
boy,
64:40.
Canada win the ball back.
David, come on. Look at that coverage.
Ah.
No one
Ah.
gave David a second to even think there. That's what
And
we
here
want
come
to see
Uruguay on the
live.
break here. Canada are getting numbers back, forcing the ball out left. Adakubi should have that
Oh.
cup. We should have that covered. Laren put
Fuck.
the pressure on there. Ball goes back out. Won't have any cover out there. Atakubi's now coming out.
And over the bar.
Uruguay get head
know-
on it, but it goes out.
I'll throw this out to the chat there too. Obviously, there's both sides sort of supporting here, which is fine. Like, this is a friendly. We're not, obviously, this isn't full competition. But going into this, anyone who's kind of supporting Uruguay, what were your thoughts going into Canada? Were you taking it as a serious threat, or were you taking it more as just get some legs? Because that's kind of what I want to know. Like,
I was
really,
like, where do people view us in the world opposed to where we view ourselves?
yeah. Because I mean, remember, any sort of bravado we have has come from a place of being absolutely beat the fuck down for years. Like the thought of even being here instead of getting into the World Cup via default was just not in our head. Like, it's still up until the point they said we've qualified. It was still like, how do we fuck this up?
It was literally until it was actually official. We were kind of waiting, be like, okay, we can still fall out with even 2 games left. We topped the table, and in the last 2 games, we actually could have fallen out.
And we looked like we were doing it too because we had then lost.
And we had that draw in Jamaica. We had that loss to was El Salvador.
I can't even remember. It was the one where Kay got that red card. Panama.
So they lost to Costa Rica where Kay got that red card, and the Panama one I believe was when Larin looked to have scored the equalizer, but it was ruled out.
Yeah.
That was the game that if they won, they would have got a 3rd seed.
Yeah. So yeah, it was definitely right till the end, and knowing Canada's history, knowing CONCACAF, we were waiting to be CONCACAF and all essentially, but we topped the group, and here we are now talking about Canada playing fucking Uruguay, playing the same match where Luis Suarez was on. Like, that's insane to hear coming out my mouth in the same sentence. Suarez and Canada,
I do remember thinking to myself after the bet the US, I'm like, oh, that's good. They've probably got a playoff spot taken care of.
yeah. It did kind of just feel constantly like it was like, well, we can now properly try and qualify versus wow, we're actually going to do it.
Adekubi with a low cross in, can't get past the first man.
Yeah,
I don't mind low crosses, but like it's always disappointing when it hits the first man. They come across as if they're like.
And you want that second effort there. The second effort from who was Larin. Like, we got another comment from Luke. As you guys see, it could be good to be complete underdog in the World Cup, at least in the group games, 100%.
Yeah, there's always at least one big team as well in a World Cup who shits the bed at the group stage.
Who shits the bed, and you always have a surprising team, and that's what when you get to the World Cup, you want to be that team, right? So,
it wasn't a surprise that Croatia got out the group last time, for example, but getting to the final, I can't imagine many people predicted that before the tournament started.
Mm-hmm. Davies, oh my god!
Uruguay did well to get ahead on that.
They're so aware. Like, Uruguay is so aware.
It's so right too to be that underdog. Sorry to kind of go back to there. It's because. Though a lot of the bigger teams this year, I don't know about you guys, but it just feels like they're not up to the same snuff. Like they're struggling in a couple areas. England versus Germany was there. The Italy just hasn't been performing the same. Like, this Nations League has shown us really interestingly how much of a hiccup some of these bigger teams are having. And this could very much Belgium been not having a great time. Croatia kind of coming through. France like it's just a scenario of a lot of these teams are losing when they normally would just be full domination.
No,
part of me's I agree, but I also want to keep in mind that a lot of players, quite frankly, don't give a shit about the Nations League. Guys like Kevin De Bruyne, for example, have been very vocal about that. They think it's a waste of time. Players get ran into the ground now, and if they have to sacrifice a set of fixtures, the Nations League is going to be the set of fixtures they sacrifice. So I agree. There's been a lot of European teams, particularly, that have been disappointing. I don't know how much it's down to the fact they don't care about the Nations League.
I gotta cut you off there because the thing is that you can't, if they're picking you for that squad, the manager cares because they make money. So you run the risk of not being picked the same. There.
Sorry to cut you off. One of you guys have the game in the background. Do you mind muting that?
You mute that.
So unfortunately, we did not get that 65th minute screamer from Kone. I apologize.
He meant 75th. You just hit the 6 accidentally. He meant 75th.
65th minute Pacific time.
Yeah.
I haven't really noticed too much of Cody so far in this game, but I know he's kind of a defensive midfielder, so I think it's cliche to say, but that's a position if you're doing well, you don't get noticed too much in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's
like in other sports, you've said it before with hockey, I think it is, Michael. You don't notice a good defenseman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. You don't notice a defenseman. I keep more of an eye out for you in the future. If somebody says, "Hey, I haven't noticed," fucking going back to the NHL. I haven't noticed Morgan Riley all night. Yeah, that's a fucking good thing, actually, because he's not fucking up.
Oh, a bit too cute there from Eustachio, but like he was pressured pretty quickly there. Not much he could have done with that. Canada going into like two banks of four. David and Laren are putting the pressure on. It's funny to see that Canada do play a 4-4-2 at times because like that's kind of like a formation that's kind of died within the last decades. But like,
yeah,
I guess like it can still be done if you do have two very good strikers.
And which Canada and even Davies can jump up in there too, right? But
I think you need to have two like very athletic strikers. Like you can't be playing a big man little man combination in 2022. You know.
Yeah. And speaking of the strikers, I'd like to see somebody else come on at this point. The other guys aren't getting the job done. They're being covered very well. I'd maybe take off Laren or David at the moment and bring on Ugbo, bring on Charles Brown, bring on Cavallini, just to see, like maybe they'll loosen up on some of these guys that they're not so more familiar with.
I think it is an absolute crime that we haven't seen Luis Suarez and Lucas Cavallini on a pitch at the same time.
That would have been absolutely amazing. That would have been yeah.
Still could happen. It still could happen.
Oh, well, no, Suarez got taken off.
Oh, I know, but for some reason I could still see him running on just so he can bite him and the other one can stomp him in the head.
Cavallini comes on. He goes, ooh, fresh meat. I haven't tasted a Canadian before.
The unstoppable force and the immovable object.
I haven't tasted Canadian blood. I wonder what
here comes off De La Cruz. Don't you be scoring against Canada again. Don't you ever think about doing that again.
And Uruguay have made a lot of subs. Like that's their fourth in a row.
There's one thing that you can say about one thing's notable about John Herdman. Like he has his guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think like he doesn't make a lot of substitutes. He doesn't make many left field changes. We've even seen in the first friendly not all that many like changes throughout. Like he has his guys. And he likes to play them. Like it's very much like there's very much like a club team atmosphere when it comes to Canada.
Oh, for sure, yeah, for sure.
He's not one of these guys that like uses an international friendly. Like like you had some managers who will like change the entire lineups at halftime.
He's trying to keep it realistic to play, but I think at this point we only have so many friendlies. Like we only have this and Japan left. So
yeah,
and Japan is where I think Japan is where you're going to want to keep that metric. Keep your, just keep your like
Japan
this is what I wanted to do.
Japan is the game where you put these are my boys. Like that's not an experiment. Because
this is where you find out who your boys are.
What was that?
It goes on.
Oh, when did that happen?
I don't know, but
in the process of saying we should.
Right now, Carol Laren came off for Ugbo. So as of like right now, Ugbo literally just came off for Carol Laren. So that's something I want to see. So that's something we need to see. But I agree with you, Andre. That Japan game is. That's our team going to the World Cup. Love it or like it. My question about that window, though, is that because that's the break before the World Cup, so we only get one game? Like, why is there not two? Like,
it's just a typical thing. It's a typical thing that a lot of countries do. Like, they'll play like a last friendly, and especially with like they'll be in Qatar then anyway. I think it's just something Canada and Japan have just been like, we're both in Qatar. This is inconsequential when it comes to like where we both are in the tournament draw. You want to kick about?
So is that game in Qatar then?
It's in Qatar.
Yeah, that's good. Because that's something we want to see as well, right? Get something a little bit used to that weather. Because that heat is going to be a pain in the ass for these players. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, Japan will be a bit more used to it just because like they have to play Asian competition. So they would have made trips to the Middle East. Like they would have played Saudi Arabia, for example, in their qualifying group.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to come up against a team who are more conditioned to it because it might force Canada to become conditioned to it to compete with them.
Canada, like our climate wall is fairly consistent. Like we're very horizontal in a sense. Japan, you go north to south. So if you go to the very tip of the south end, you can get to some pretty extreme weathers as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a scenario where they'd have a bit more access. Plus, too, like. It's with the height and the elevations and the mountains.
Lots of mountains.
Yeah. So they're a scenario I think they'll be a little bit better, but they're just a good test for us because who they've been playing. They just played Ecuador and drew 0-0 this morning. Played United States. We know our quality against them. They are like pretty much the perfect opponents to see exactly how we sit. It'd be nice though to see us while we're in Qatar maybe organize one more friendly. I can't see another team wanting to say no to that.
I think it really depends on the scheduling and how much time we actually have between club play and World Cup play. I think it really comes down to, right?
Yeah. Well, with a lot of our players coming, in a sense, from the MLS,
A lot of them are good, yeah. But like,
but they'll be MLS is done, so you could even just field a team of that.
But look at our starting 11 today, Andre. We only have, if you count Larea, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 MLS players off the starting 11.
Yeah,
that's a fair chunk. It's only there's 11 players on the field.
Yeah, but I mean, again, that's if you count Larea, because is Larea going back to England? Will he get time? Will he do another loan spell somewhere else in Europe? We don't know what
for this window. He would have been marked down as a Toronto player because he plays for Toronto.
Yeah, no, I meant more leading to the World Cup. Like,
but even the World Cup, like that transfer, that loan's going to go into. Remember, it's January is the transfer season.
Exactly, Luke. 100%, Luke. If Montreal win the cup, it's going to be tight for some of our big defenders, right? Alex Johnson and Kamal Miller.
And it's not as if any of them are going to like turn around to Wilfred Nancy in Montreal and go, "Hi, yeah, can I not play? I want to be in the like they want to win the MLS Cup and play in Qatar
100%. I want both.
No, I don't think anyone wants. I don't think anyone wants both. I think mostly Canada just want the World Cup. We can skip out on the Montreal thing.
I think we should. Are you saying we should cancel the MLS to make sure our boys are in tip-top?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I really worry about their safety. I think we should just cancel any and all Canadian teams.
Andre's really, really concerned about the welfare of the Montreal players. That's what it is.
Yeah, I really worry about their safety, and not just from us. I'm thinking about all the other teams. That they play for their national team. I'm worried about you. Just help me help you, okay?
Toilets in. Knocked away. Actually, Andre, can you confirm something for me? Will the podcast be dropping in approximately 20 minutes?
It will be.
Beauty. So when you start watching this with us, you can go over and listen to our brand new podcast.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Hopefully not.
There you go. About 3 hours of us today to brighten up your day. I woke up this morning to it froze last night with a mom. So that's the type of sunshine and warmth you want in your life. But just listening to us three just chit chat for a bunch of hours.
I mean, that's the best thing about podcasts. Like, I take the train all the time, like from Montreal to Ottawa. Actually, longer than that. And I just
trains in Canada.
What?
Not very far.
Trains don't exist in Western Canada.
Oh no! So I take a train from.
We just do freight.
I take a train quite often from where I am to Ottawa. So yeah, I just load up a bunch of podcasts. Either it's our own podcast because that's how much I love my own voice, or some other podcasts. But
Andy Kubi's off. Who's that coming on? Buchanan?
Buchanan.
Oh, there we go. That's who we needed.
Okay, so
I'll take it. I'll take Buchanan's 12 minutes.
So back three, I imagine still, and then Buchanan will be playing in like a wing back position.
And Corbenu's come on as well.
Oh,
so that's good to see.
Probably. We'll see who's on for in a second.
Kubi off for Buchanan. All this means is for Buchanan is now I want to see him with Club Brugge more this season. He better be ready to go with Club Brugge now, or at least very close.
I think he'll be good to go. Like if he's playing, like John Herdman's not going to play him just for the sake of it.
And Victoria's off for Corbinu. That's a bit of a surprising one.
Okay, so
it just means Kamal Miller's coming right back with Johnson, I would assume, and then push the rest.
Yeah, so Johnson will be playing at centre back, I guess, at this point, alongside Victoria.
I would like to see Waterman come on there for Johnson at this point. Center back for center back at the back.
Yeah. I mean, I can see Miller coming on any moment as well. Cavallini.
I'd like to see Koleosho come on just because, like, I feel like
hasn't played.
I don't want to be like stringing this guy along and then like the next international window like
he
goes,
if he doesn't
I'm going to play for the US.
If he doesn't play, that's two calls.
Like, I know that friendlies don't count. Like you can play a friendly and then still change team anyway.
Yeah.
But like I want him to feel like he's part of the squad. I mean,
exactly.
It's going to be token minutes, sure. But like at least he can say he like got on, like his time wasn't wasted.
Yeah, I remember when Davies was coming on. We had Davies come in. We had Tabla play. We had an Italian keeper called Buzo. I remember when around this time when we were bringing all these kids in, people were just screaming, "Put them in! I don't care for how long. Put them in because we want them to be part."
You want
of
them
team.
Essentially cup tight.
Exactly, and I mean we capped Tabla. Tabla can't play for anyone else if he ever gets back into Canadian rankings, but.
Don't forget, you're here forever.
Exactly. I was actually at that game when he played his first ever game against, I think it was Dominican Republic, if I remember correctly.
What I think as well that the players you are seeing being brought on, like the core, Corbino and Ugbo is like they're definitely part of the team, right? Like I feel like
100%.
seeing Corbino get these minutes and how well he is for Blackpool.
Yeah.
I
And
was
again,
very
he missed out on the last couple windows, but we read recently that could have been a vaccine possibility, but we always knew it was a personal choice. We knew he turned down Herdman. It wasn't that Herdman said, I'm coming away from you. We knew Corbinu said, nah, I'm good. But
I'm
at
just
the
going to move
time,
this along in case we get some epic gamer comments.
Yeah.
And Uruguay are making another substitution here. Liking the hair. Can we bring back entire teams having the same hair, having the same color of hair again at the World Cup?
I do
No.
love that. I do
No.
love that.
no.
Can we have
Oh,
can we
yeah.
have the entire Canada team like dyeing their hair red or something, please?
Oh, fuck, no.
Yeah.
Imagine fucking Steven Victoria with red hair. I'm good.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Yes!
Come on,
That'd
Miller
be
has no
amazing.
fucking hair.
Give him a wig.
Well, then they can just paint it right on top. It's fine.
Just paint it. Yeah.
In that heat?
Same with Hutchinson. You know, it'd be great.
Who do you
Sure.
think? Who do you think Herdman's talking to on that earbud he's got on?
Who is he talking? He's talking to Gareth Wheeler. Who else?
Of course, yeah. Ball goes out of play. I feel like the game's kind of like winding down at this point. I can't see this game
A little
finishing anything
bit,
other
like-
than 2-0. The second half's not really had the same intensity to me.
It
I think.
hasn't. I think the problem is though is we waited too long to make the striker subs. If we did it a little bit earlier on, I think we could have had a little bit more jump. Like when Hoylett first came on, he looked creative. He looked like he was doing stuff, you know.
I think that's just indicative of any friendly game when like both teams start ringing the changes.
Yeah, it could be.
But you typically don't really ever see friendlies finishing like too heavy in score. It's kind of like an unwritten rule in that sense. And
Yeah.
maybe I think both teams are just kind of like, all right, we're just here not to get injured. Play
Well,
the game.
honestly, 2-0 against Uruguay, and we've been competitive. We put the pressure on. It's not
Yeah.
a bad defeat. Knock on wood, because Uruguay's now on the push. Good luck.
Yeah, it would be 3-0 would be very harsh. Like, also, and it's not gone 3-0, but if it was, that'd have been a very harsh score. I think Canada, like, I really would like to see them score a goal still. I feel like their place
Yeah.
deserved a goal.
Here comes Corbinu up.
Corbinu
looks
on
like
the
he has
wing.
A lot of space.
Corbino's like a very old 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
so is Larea. Like,
That
yeah, Lorea's
Laraya's always
Wasn't
Laraya
he,
has
like, 24?
resting. Laraya
That's
has resting. I've just seen a ghost face.
that's the scenario of playing for Canada. You just age far quicker.
Well,
Lorea's got
Lorea's
resting ghost face.
27. To be fair, Lorea's 27, and he took a while to get into the Canada roster. He did take a while.
It's even more stressful when you got to try to find a way into it, and then you're like, oh, now that I'm here, shit.
Exactly.
I got
It's like-
this guy from Montreal who's keeping me out.
I mean,
Starts
now
with
is.
a
I mean, we're right at the end. I think now is the chance just to do a full swap. Like, just start.
Good
bring
ball
on-
to Ugbo.
bring on the rest. Just bring on Brian. Bring on Waterman.
Yeah.
Bring on Liam
Yeah.
Miller.
Oh,
Oh.
It's still.
oh God!
Shoot
Go on,
it!
David. Go on, David. Take a fuck. Oh my god.
One shot too many there. It's a bit like Laren earlier on. Just wants to craft the perfect shot there.
Yeah.
When it comes to the World Cup, I really hope they're just like gets put into them. Like you're not going to get that time against those big opposition.
No,
you
you're
need to be
not.
able to just like have that instinct to shoot. Good
And
ball
unfortunately,
Yeah.
someone like David, who plays in the Ligue 1, you would think he would know that. You know, time is not always given to you.
I mean, not every team's PSG in France, and shot gets blocked there. Uruguay is like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much.
the game's been
Too much
very
time. They're
shoulda-
making too much of a wall. Like we have to take chances a lot earlier. We cannot just let
Yeah.
them get back like that.
And that's been
Yeah,
our
they very
that's been our
shoulda-
problem in the box.
We very
Yep.
should have, could have, would have. I think one thing we've got to remember is well, Uruguay are a very stout team defensively. They always have been. It's like almost like a national, like you get countries that just like there's a footballing identity, like Italy, good
Yep.
at defending. Germany just somehow win games. Brazil play football really well. Like there's teams that you associate with certain ways of playing. For me, Uruguay, it's like it's stout, stodgy defending and like having quality up front to work alongside it.
You're entirely right.
It's kind of funny how that's a thing in international football. I don't know what Scotland's is. I think ours is just finding spectacular ways to lose games.
Yeah, but Canada's just never had. Everyone has the chance to get an identity. Our identity has always been shit. So they've just got to figure it out. And I think what we're seeing
Great
now
defending
is
there from Miller.
Yeah. Hey, that's what you get from
Beauty.
him, man. That's what you get from him, baby. Kamal Miller's my boy.
I think he's
He's your literal child.
I followed with him from the
I
age
feel
I
like
was 3.
I feel like I don't know what his contract's like at Montreal, how long he's tied down there for, but like I'd like to think there's a move to Europe for him in the near future.
I agree. I think the big thing with him is like he needs to go to a European league that is actually worth it. Like, don't go to Europe for the
Davies,
sake of going
pass
to
the
Europe.
ball.
You know,
Just
Yeah.
a little bit of
it
I'm
needs
trying
to
to
be
do
the
everything
right
there.
move. It needs to be the right move. Don't move to Europe for the sake of moving to Europe. You know.
That I see what you mean there, Audrey. Like they're trying to do too much there from Davies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what did I say? Davies is going to take this on his back now because they're down 2-0 in the late
Yep.
minutes.
I don't want
He does this often.
I mean, if Miller's happy at Montreal, and Montreal kind of look like the beginning of a cycle, like all going well, they're going to be. Well, I know they can't play in the Champions League next year, but like playing at high level MLS playoffs, maybe that's fine for him. Maybe he's like a guy who wants to be close to home.
Maybe
But
yeah.
I think there's a move to Europe there if he wants it. I'm the
We have
same
to
with you.
think
I
about
wanted
it
to
as
see.
well.
I want to see him move to the right team. That's the only thing. I don't want
Yeah,
to see him going to
yeah.
like I don't know who's terrible in the Premier League right now. Someone
No,
like that.
I think any Premier League team is a step up if he can get minutes. Like we have to remember, Kamal Miller's 25, so he's really coming into his peak, his
Yeah,
prime.
we don't want another Loria.
No, and
No.
look, Lorraine's not technically a bust yet, right? He's still under contract. We have to wait and see. Is it looking good? No, but doesn't mean it is either. We don't know everything that's happening in the back doors, right? With Kamal Miller, though, he's 25 years old.
He's a lot younger than he looks. Yeah, like
the
for
thing
the
with-
way he plays, you think he'd be much more seasoned.
The
Yeah.
thing with playing in the MLS for Kamal Miller is going to Europe. He doesn't necessarily gain anything, right? He's already gained regular calls to Canada. He's gained regular minutes for Canada. He's potentially looking at a trophy in the MLS this season. Leaving the MLS for Kamal Miller doesn't necessarily add more to him at this moment, right? Like
It could
obviously
be-
every player wants to go, but it doesn't mean he has to.
It could be a scenario too where going to somewhere could then just be a choice of money. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
I have my prestige. I'm not really caring for it. Now I am just going for money.
Yeah.
And
if you get the right move in Europe, like your grandchildren are set for life. You know.
It is,
Exactly.
yeah. And but it also too, like in some places where they prefer to speak French, obviously you could kind of limit yourself. But you do have Belgium that's obviously prime for the picking
Club Brugge.
again. But it doesn't always have to be Club Brugge, because the thing is with France, there is only so much you can do. There's only
Yellow
it's
card
either
there for
Kone.
Kone
Yeah.
number 8.
Yep.
Good stuff, lads. Stick the boot in him.
You lose it 2-0.
Yeah,
Fuck,
you have to
like,
you have to try to get booked when it comes to international friendlies.
Yeah,
Do you guys notice that Eustachio got man of the match?
I
Yeah.
did. Yes, according to One Soccer, anyways.
I'm fine with that. Like I said, I think Eustachio is like the engine room in Canada. I think he's like he's the key. I think he's a keystone player for Canada. You take him out, and like it's a very different team.
I think we could survive without him because I mean we survived without Davies for 7 games. We could survive without any of these guys for 7
I
games.
think the
truly
difference
believe
is
that.
the level of depth, though. Like
Yeah,
I don't hate our central midfield, but like I think a lot of it relies on Eustachio. Like
Well, like we talked
whoever's
about the last.
alongside,
well, he's got the best corner in the game, for at least for us. So
Like we talked about at the last stream, right? Once you come off Hutchinson, once you come off Eustachio, you're looking at players like Mark Anthony Kay. And do you want Mark Anthony Kay on the field? Again, he's still a player I'm undecided about.
Andre's
So-
one who watches them more often than we do.
he is a great player. It's just the problem is he's quick to temper,
Yeah,
and
That's
it
part
can
of
be
his
it
problem,
can be
yeah.
a significant detriment to us.
that is
Like, it
part of his
really
problem.
can be.
If Connie was like say 2 years old, or like I think like you're looking at him being like a shoe in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, massive.
I know that's not how real life works. And unless we do that thing where like all the African players used to do back in the day and fake their age.
Yeah, but then we run into those problems where now we're you know potentially getting kicked out of the World Cup, just like that Ecuador, Colombia, all that
Dispute,
controversy.
Mm-hmm. Is that
You're
Coburn on
kind
the
of
ball
really
there?
working it, but
Oh!
nearly an own goal.
Okay, I hate camera angles sometimes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that
can't
was-
tell who that was who said that. Was it Buchanan? Yeah.
Buchanan, yeah, it was
I thought it was
Buchanan.
Coburn. No, like,
No, that was Buchanan.
the
whole
camera's
time.
the camera's way too high up.
What?
Come on, boys.
That was some great play from Buchanan there, though. That's what you want to see from him.
That was
He,
great
gives, he
effort.
does give Canada an X. It does give Canada an X factor in that sense.
Yeah, he did. Good work though. Like that's the type of stuff like we've been saying we want to see and need to see, and it's exciting to get that stuff. There's a lot of Canadian Uruguayans in the game. In the crowd. That's not the
Yeah,
first time I
funny
noticed
that.
that. That's not the first time I noticed that. I don't mean. Listen, smart ass. I don't mean
Oh,
Canadian and Uruguayans. I mean a lot of Canadian like mixed not
Canadian
mixed, but
fans and
Canadian
Uruguayan
fans.
fans. Yeah.
No, but not the fans, but the Uruguayan Canadians. That's it.
Right. Oh, okay. I think I got you now.
See,
That's what I meant. There's a lot of Uruguayans or Canadians who have both nationalities, is what I'm saying. Jesus.
well, to be fair, like unless you're native in Canada, you got something else you're backing up with.
Well, yeah, that's. Oh my lord, the game. Oh, I'm shutting up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael's losing his mind.
Oh,
We have broken him.
it only took 6 months.
That's fine.
I lasted more than my mom thought I would last. Okay.
Oh, that's true. Hey, that's I'm gonna leave those jokes alone. All right.
And
joking.
can to get the ball back out. The cannon's on it, working towards the Canadian.
Oh, there we go.
Defender
All
gets
right,
himself a
you stack
corner.
you. Let's go.
Nice and direct.
Over it. Yeah.
I think we had Eustaquio running, just beelining it right up there. Yeah.
Like Uruguay's defense has been so well organized. We haven't really challenged their keeper much. Again, another.
Ooh. Yeah, low cross there. I get
No.
annoyed when I see that there's those like corners that'll beat the first man, you know? It's like
Especially when
such a
you're down,
waste.
especially when you're losing, just it's annoying.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they can get them all out of the way in this game. Get all
Nice.
Good
get
throw.
all your poor corners out of the way in this game.
Yeah.
I think this game is. Yeah, you could just say it happened. Really, unfortunately, Canada conceded the 2 goals, especially the free kick. Not much you can do about that. The Nunes one,
Oh, that's
fair enough. That's just a guy who's very tall against a guy who's not so tall going up for the ball. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's been a respectable game. Like
Yeah.
well,
and
we
the only
didn't
things
we
Herdman
didn't
can
go
learn
into it
from
thinking we were gonna demo. Like at no point, none of us I think went into this going we're walking away 3-0. So being able to at least contain it to 2 and make some good saves, make some shots.
Yeah.
Again, we don't have to win every game in the group stage. We just have to win most.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
I know what you mean. Yeah, part of me is a little bit not disappointed as such, but like I wanted to see Uruguay take the game more to Canada to see how well his team can defend under intense pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like, I mean,
I'm overall happy.
I'm complaining about Canada playing too well against Uruguay. You know, like I need to knock some sense into myself here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
like despite the fact that obviously it's been a while since they've won the World Cup, Uruguay is still a powerhouse. We do
Mhm.
at the end of the day,
Oh yeah,
they are a
listen,
football
they
powerhouse.
won the Copa America not too long ago, 4th place in the World Cup. They always seem to get to the group stages in this era that
Toilet
they're in.
over the bar.
Yeah, and I think that's all she wrote.
That
Boys.
is it.
Yeah, there it is. There's a little message from Luke for Andre. I'll put on the screen for you guys. Thank you everyone who watched this. This was a lot of fun. Do you guys want to stick around and talk about, or are you all talked out?
Alas, I do have to unfortunately go back to work.
All right.
However,
no
but I
worries.
got to also upload that. So, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, sorry I couldn't stick around and talk your ear off more, but we are going to have that podcast up here for our 2 p.m. launch, or it's going to be, Pacific Standard Time, nice noon, nice lunchtime watch for you, listen for you. So make sure to be checking that out. Check out our YouTube, check out our TikTok, FC13 podcast, but also make sure to be looking at the articles that Michael and Paul write. There's lots of articles up on FC13 Sports. Okay. Like 13th Man Sports.
Same.
Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff you can do. There's also other sports coming up, even though obviously our attention's going here. So, guys, thanks so much for
joining. Everyone who subscribed to us during this stream, thank you so much. We'll be back with content throughout the week. We upload I'd say probably about 3 times a week, plus the podcast that we do. So thank you so much for all that. And thank you for all the comments.
Yeah, we love the engagement. We genuinely love seeing it. Unfortunately, let's not go Montreal. But we do love seeing the engagement. We love seeing everybody kind of taking part and doing that. Obviously, congrats to Uruguay. We hope you go far. We hope we don't meet you later on in the competition. But like,
I'd like to meet Uruguay again because that means Canada would have like shocked the world by getting pretty far in the tournament.
That is true as well. It was a great game overall. Like not a great game, but overall it was a good performance, and it's one we can walk away from and be. You know what? The World Cup might be something we could be competitive in and not be blown out. Like when not Honduras. when Panama got lost 6-0 to England at the last World Cup. We might not be that team.
As long as we can get a goal, as long as we can get a goal. Remember, that's all we need is one goal, and we have successfully made it much further than we did in the last World Cup.
One goal and no match fixing scandals.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's a bar pretty high. It is the World Cup. Like we just temper her down a little bit. At least get a goal, get maybe a win, and we're laughing.
Yeah. As you guys can probably imagine, like we're going to try and be doing this as well for the World Cup as well and the Japan game as well. So keep an eye out for this. We'll do it for the Japan game. We'll be here as well as often as we can for the World Cup. And if we get past the group stages, it'll just depend on like the rota gods for us here, like and who knows schedule and all that wise. But I'll just call them some sickies.
And if who knows if we can't do Canada games, maybe we'll do some other games from other groups. We'll see.
We'll watch the US lose We'll watch the US and England lose all their games, even though they play each other. They'll somehow both lose.
You know what? I cannot do England for you. We'll have an England hype train here.
We'll have an anti-England hype train. We'll go all in Argentina.
Oh my god!
I gotta now go and watch Scotland play Ukraine again.
Again.
Third, fourth time, no problem.
You know what? There's no need to get so much revenge on Ukraine. Okay, they have it hard enough there, Paul.
God. It is kind of awkward playing Ukraine, yeah. But
especially too when you're like, no, like it's fine. You're just heartless. It's all right.
All right.
But guys, obviously, thanks for tuning in so much. We do appreciate everyone doing this. And obviously, big shout out to Michael and Paul for setting the whole stream up. We will be doing more streams and everything. And right as soon as you're done this, hop on over to Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, and take a listen to our newest episode.
Awesome. You all have a great one. And thank you so much for joining in.